Alright guys, good evening today, and today we are actually going to be going into yet again another tactics tournament. Today we are actually going to be starting from round 3, and we're going to be viewing Baconator against Question Mark. Here I have with me today is Illy. Illy, can you please introduce yourself?
Hey guys, my name's Illy. I'm a SMITE tactics player, SMITE player, and I can't wait to get into some of these games. Baconator is one of the players in the community that's always been at the top of the field. So being able to go through and watch his games in this tournament is going to be very interesting.
So, Illy, if there are 3 people in this community, who would be your most feared? Like, if you were to run into them on Smite Tactics, you just kind of got paired up against them, who would you run away from first?
Um, Scott Gandhi,
Oh, yeah.
um, Stoof because he runs way too much aggro,
Stoof is disgusting.
and I like control. And then we're just gonna go throw in an old one, Keltar, because
Oh,
he also
Keltar.
runs 100% aggro when he played the game.
So, I think I would go with the same. I would definitely be afraid of Stoof. Yeah, Scott Gandhi's easy. We don't no.
Yeah. No, Scott's OP.
So I think for one thing, definitely Stoof. He won't be here in this tournament today. Baconator is definitely one of them, as well as Singularity. Singularity,
Yeah.
I think, was also entered in the tournament, and we'll maybe get to see him today. But those are definitely my top 3. We're gonna get into the games today, guys. Like I said, it's gonna be Baconator against QM. And for those of you that don't know, this is going to be a best of 3 format, and also the game has changed quite a bit from what you saw last week. Can you kind of explain how the new game was changed, how the game was kind of overhauled this past week?
Yeah, absolutely. So you can see the 4 little random stones sitting on the map in front of you, and the blue stones are for the player on the left, and the red stones are for the player on the right. And they are your objective. You kill the stones, you win. The stones can't deal damage, and then they're in their own little separate category. So some spells can't target them, and others can. And it's very important to know those distinctions, because your leaders are no longer the backbone. Your leaders are just another card that can be played.
But what happens if your leader dies? Do you lose the game?
No, you only lose the game if your summoning stones die. If your leader dies, he's a 4 mana 1/6 or 1/8 to be replayed if he's melee ranged.
Okay. And I believe, does the mana cost go up every time he dies as well?
It goes up by 1 each time, but for the most part, I don't think we're going to see him played at 5 or 6 mana cost.
Is it just because they're not worth it, or is it maybe something else? Just they would not
It's
offer
both
them.
because it's at that point not very stat efficient to play them, and also because the leaders have very valuable ability, cost 2 mana each turn to use, and players usually go to pretty pretty more than average lengths to protect those abilities.
Yeah, that is definitely true. And from the games today, we'll see definitely exactly what Illy said. We will probably only see the leader making it on the board once if they kind of die the first time. Usually, if the leader dies more than one time and is brought back onto the field, then you're probably going in for a loss. So we'll see what happens today. I'm going to go ahead and explain the format, though, guys. Like I said before, it is a best of 3. We will have a winner side and a loser side, as well as a bracket split. So if the winner of the loser side moves into the grand finals and he happens to win, then we will reset the bracket to where the people in grand finals will play once more, another best of 3. The format is as follows as well, is that if you win as a Pantheon, you cannot play that same Pantheon again in the same set. So if I am playing Odin against a Nuwa, then that Odin will not be able to play if he wins in that same set. So with that, let's get into our first game of the day, which will again be Baconator against Question Mark. So guys, here we are getting into the first game here of the day, of the tournament. And on the left side here, we have Baconator playing as Zeus, and on the right side, Question Mark. Two very big guys in the scene, been at almost every single tournament. Baconator definitely a fan favorite, as well as Question Mark has always been inside the Discord. He's everywhere. Great guy. I've been able to play a bunch of games with him as well. So, looking into their hands, let's just get into this game. Illy, help me out here. Looking at the deck list and looking at Question Mark's hand and Baconator's hand, what can you tell from this game and how it's going to pan out from here?
Well, Question Mark drew his only Doom Speaker, and he was able to coin it out on turn 2, or on the 2-mana turn. So that's a really good play for him going forward. His deck is primarily an Odin kind of OTK style deck, where he's got a couple of big guys, Haste of Fatalis, a Sprint, and some damage buffing cards to try to really burst down the stones. As he's going to throw down the Soul there, very powerful AoE ability, clear off both the Doom Speakers, giving him board control going second, which is huge, especially against a Zeus, which likes to have that board control.
Yeah, and looking at Odin right now, or looking over at Zeus right now, Baconator throws that marksman in the back line. That's just gonna be food for Soul right now. But Soul's gonna go ahead and get cut in half. One basic attack from Zeus will go ahead and take that down. I think he's in a better position here now that he has that Nemesis out on the field. But playing Nemesis this early, it's not really good, because Nemesis is usually there to take out those bigger fellows, those guys who have 8, 7 health, just to be able to cut those in half and be able to finish them off with some low cards like a any
Judgment.
Judgment or a Doom Speaker, anything you might have in the area, even ranged attacks from an Afro or a Thanatos. So looking back over at Question Mark though, his hand does have 2 charges right now, and he does have that Fenrir. He played Fenrir in the front too, and he looks like he's going a little bit more aggressive, as you said here. He's throwing everything in here on the front line. And how do you feel about this play right here?
I feel like he needs to get the board back. And his options are either Valhalla Sorcery for an answer, or Fenrir and try to get some of Baconator's units to trade into his. And of the two, with the fact that Fate and Mayhem can also hit the summoning stones, not just the units, he's going to be much more likely just to play the Fenrir and hopefully get rid of this Nemesis, maybe even get rid of the leader, and make that archer target something else.
Well, here's what you got going on here. You have that Archer in the backside. You also have Zeus with a basic attack. That's going to add up to 3 damage, and you got Thanatos sitting in Baconator's hand right now. So that'll be an automatic execute. I want to see him play this. If not, he does have other options if he wants to play something near that Summoning Stone, but if he wants to play Medusa. Yeah.
He doesn't even have to use the Zeus basic. He can just play the Thanatos, which buffs the marksman to 3 attack.
Yeah.
He can then attack with the marksman and execute with the Thanatos, which I expect to see. It's the clear better play. It's obviously not as mana efficient, but in this instance, I think playing the Thanatos is probably going to be better. You want to get it on board, unless you want to try to save it maybe for a Loki, but you already drew your judgment for that, so...
Yeah, so he went down with the Medusa. There's one thing there, is Medusa is probably, and we've asked a lot of players this, Medusa seems to be the second best card in the game. He's going to go ahead and deliver that basic attack, bring it to 2 health, and trading the Nemesis over for the Fenrir. I like this idea, but there, Odin still stands on the field right next to Medusa. And will he have an answer for this?
It's possible. But I think in Baconator's mind, he's thinking this is a rushy Norse deck. I don't have time. I don't necessarily care about developing my 3-2. I want to develop my 3-5 because my 3-5 is more likely to live. That's going to be the Loki charge, though, to remove that Medusa. I mean, that's just straight up an answer. There's nothing Baconator could have done to play around that.
So, to answer for this Loki, you do have that marksman in the back, so that will be able to just easily trade off. So, that Medusa was quick bait, and taking off one of the arguably the best card for Question Mark in this situation is now going to be taken out in 1 turn from an Archer. These Archers are getting awfully heavy right now. He's at 3 attack power, still sitting at 2 health. And QM has done nothing against this. If he persists with this, and even if Aphrodite goes onto this, that Archer is going to be just persisting through the game as one of the strongest units here. I would like to see him hook And that archer is really just the nemesis of this entire game.
No, Nemesis already died.
Yeah, I know.
No, but I mean, really, we're Question Mark's just kind of looking for those 2 Ymirs that he's put into his deck for that charge, I think. If he can find a Ymir top deck into a charge play, he can probably stun out either the 4-2, well, that would kill the 4-2, or you can stun out another character that's on board, and maybe deal with something, as we're going to see the Odin. It's going to be cleared. That's tricky, because now you got to spawn all the way in your back line, and this is a Zeus with a teleport.
Yeah, Scotty is kind of on the wrong side of the field, and I hope she knows this. She didn't get the memo. But moving on, looking at Baconator's hand, this is this is as removal as you can get with a Zeus deck. You have Judgment, you have Thanatos, and you have Teleport. That's just removal. Scotty just going to be able to move back, finally take out that Archer that has been 4-2 for about the entire game. Just been growing. And then now Zeus just kind of being able to take his side of the game. And QM kind of left in the dust on this map here, just kind of on the right side, has a Thor, has charge if he so wants to move in with it. But you don't want to be left with a Kaldir, charge, and a Thor in this situation.
No, and he just draws the Hunter's Sigil, which he was probably hoping to have gotten earlier out of the sorcery. The 2-mana 3/3 essentially is one of the most valuable early game cards. Once you get later game, since you can't charge all 3 of them, they kind of just sit there and die.
Yeah.
Especially against the Zeus ability, which is Protect 1.
So there it is again. We have a lot more removal coming in for Baconator, and Question Mark finally picking up that Ymir. So if he really wants to, he can play that Ymir in the backline, charge it up, and he'll be able to take out either the Aphrodite or the Scion or the Doom Speaker. So he goes for the Doom Speaker, sitting down with 1 health, but still protected. There was kind of like an even split there, because you do have Aphrodite, but you do also have that heavy hitting bulk in the front line. And there goes down Thanatos on the side of Baconator, and he's looking for something here. He's definitely looking for that Ymir.
Yeah, if he basics from both of his ranged characters and then judgments, it'll be at 2 HP. He can execute it, which removes the best out there for Question Mark. It's going to be interesting to see if Question Mark has a way back into this game, because right now he's just so behind tempo as a deck that really does need tempo to burst down the enemy summoning stuns.
Well, you're in 9 mana against the Zeus. You can't. It's going to be really hard coming out with, especially with an aggro deck that was mainly based off of having a Loki and Ymir in charge, and even a Scotty in the backline. Like, this is a typical Odin deck that you would kind of see. Having those archers finally coming out and not in turn 1 is really going to hurt him here, and that's what seems to be in the current meta is, can you play Odin? Check. Can you play Odin and have Hunter's Sigil on turn 1? Check. If not, just kind of retreat and hope for the best. There will be cases where you do get out of this, but that seems to be what a lot of people are running is Frenzy, Hunter Sigil in the back line as soon as they can get out on it. But right now he's going to be trying to remove this Doom Speaker, but it's sitting at 3-1, and right now he can only output that 1 damage, but Doom Speaker, he's being protected by Aphrodite. He's going to go ahead and easily remove that, but really, this is removal that you don't want to use right now. This is kind of removal you want to do to get back the board, and really he's not going to be able to here.
But he doesn't have a choice.
Yeah.
He spawned the 3 archers in the back line where the opponent can't get to them. So the opponent then has to play around, essentially, it's at 3, 6, 9 damage coming from the archers if he pops a Frenzy. Mm-hmm. So that's something that Baconator's got to keep in mind, because that 9 damage burst can now come from that backline if he moves up too far, or if he plays too many units up too far. But do you play around that 1 card? I mean, that's debate. But I don't think
powerful card. It really is. Like, looking at Baconator's hand, we got Enyo to be able to come out to really further the damage to come out in the future. But like you said before, you have these hunters out, and you have to quickly remove them because they can be a huge nuisance if you have Frenzy. Backstab finally coming into the hand of Question Mark. He's only running 1 of those, as we kind of discussed before.
Yeah.
He really, I don't think, can pull anything out here, because Baconator just has such great late game as a Zeus here. He has that Thanatos, and if he really needs it, Teleport if anything turns around in this game. And Enyo just to be able to finish off the game if he has enough power on the board. Is there any foreseeable way that Question Mark can dig himself out of this? Because right now, Though it doesn't look good, I don't want to say it's impossible for him.
Has he played both charges?
I think, yeah, he has played
I
both
think
charges.
so too.
Yeah.
Because he played the one on the Loki.
Yes.
Did he play
And
the
then
other
the
one
one
on
on Ymir. Yeah, to attack
Yeah.
the Doom Speaker at the
So
top.
he's got both charges. I think he's gonna need the Discover Norse spell to find a charge, and then he's gonna have to somehow charge that Thor to do enough damage to win the game.
I would like that. Yeah, and looking over at Baconator once more, Zeus finally coming back into his hand this late into the game. I didn't think he would come back at 10 mana because earlier we were saying how low Zeus was. He was at finally a 1-2, and now coming back into his hand at turn 10. That Zeus has survived just about the entire game, and he really doesn't need him that much.
That Ares top deck is, I mean, that's just another, it's more bodies to put on the field. And we're gonna see him play it. No, because he wants to play this Zeus.
Zeus and Enyo are coming out. That extra damage will be able to for a lot of removal. He's going to be looking for the removal of the Archer as well as Odin, and that one Archer is just kind of left here alone, just in the desert to fend for himself here.
Yeah, and draw the Hunter Sigil, never lucky. Question mark drawing all the early game cards in the late game. And he had the Loki in the early game, so that's unfortunate for him. I kind of think he just has to Odin and then Hunter Sigil, and again, just look for that Discover Norse spell and pray that he finds the only out he's got.
Exactly what you said before, his early game and the late game. I feel like his deck just got turned upside down and he's drawn from the wrong side. But Baconator, and Baconator's looking really good. Question mark. In a questionable place here. I want to see that Thor drop at some point, but he's really not able to get it into a good position. Especially to go up against an Enyo, it's going to be removed easily. With the range that they have out right now, you have Thanatos, you have Hades sitting at 3 damage, and now you have Athena going into the back line, dealing 2 damage to everyone in the vicinity of the drop. Athena getting a nice buff this patch as well. People are now starting to play her even more.
Oh, it's insane.
Yes, it's very nice.
Yeah, no, she is so powerful.
So there she goes in the back line, dealing all that damage, and now Baconator just moving up to try to finish this game.
Yeah, and you can't play the Thor if you're question mark right now, because if you play the Thor dies, and your thought process should always be, how do I win this game? The only way that you win this game is your Thor does insane damage on the turn it's released, and somehow Baconator doesn't have an answer for it. But he's at the point now where if he waits another turn, he's gonna lose. Zeus has 5 plus 6, so he has 11 damage on board, and there's only 15 health.
50.
If he's got 4 damage in hand, he loses.
Yeah. So if he really wants to go for the end of this game, I think even though he could just trade for the Thor here as well, just with a Enyo basic, but then Enyo's just off the field forever. But Zeus is in a, or not Zeus, Thor is in a really good situation here. It's just gonna get pulled right away from that. Carries in the top though. That flag causing such a disturbance too for the front line.
Yeah, absolutely. There's not much choice on the side of question mark at this point. He had to play the Thor and hope that Baconator just had to trade his entire board into it, for some reason full wipe himself, because otherwise he can't win this game. I don't think there's a way for him to win at this point.
Yeah, and really just look at this. You have all this control coming out from Baconator. You have removal, you have CC, Hades, Ares, you even have Thanatos, the teleport he hasn't even used yet in Judgment. So this is basically the new Ra, and this is now the new Ra, and as we all know, Baconator is really known for playing Ra very well, and they're finishing up the game now, but I gotta say that Zeus is kind of, if he can survive the early game, which is probable, as we can see here, that Odin isn't really able to survive if he makes it past turn 6 or 7, that Zeus just kind of overflows with units and just comes back easily. What are your thoughts about this game, and I guess ideally the entire meta to come out of this?
Zeus is strong, yes, but I think more than Zeus being strong, we saw Odin that just didn't get a start.
Yes.
Because if Odin gets a start, he snowballs, and he snowballs way harder. You think that Zeus board looks scary? Now, if you've seen an Odin from ahead, they've got 6 or 7 units, all with 4+ attack, all grouped around your summoning stones, and you're just kind of huddled in a corner, like, please don't
Mhm.
hurt me, because Odin from ahead is insane,
But
but
you
Odin from
have
behind is lackluster.
exactly. But the one thing I'm trying to get at is you do have Zeus. You have Zeus where he stands. You kind of start off as a snowball and you kind of move on to a giant snowman. So let's say. But as Odin,
Yeah,
you start off with a snowflake, and if you can manage to get that snowflake into a boulder of a snowball, then you definitely are going to be able to snowball larger. It's just it's hard to get that. It's hard to start
it
that
is.
off. It's hard to get those cards. Zeus, he didn't have any certain cards. He had a marksman, he had a doom speaker. He also had a Thanatos, a lot of other things in his deck to support an early game. Where yeah, Odin's early game can be a lot scarier. It's just harder to get. Um, it
Absolutely.
comes
Yeah.
down to chances and what it comes to, like, if did you draw well, um, the map.
I mean, bottom line, it's a card game,
Yeah,
right? And he has to, if he doesn't draw well, he's
yeah.
got to accept that and move on to the next game.
Very well put. Guys, as Illy just said, we're going to move on to the next game. We'll be going into game 2 of Baconator against QM. Will Bacon take it, or will Question Mark be able to come back from this? All right, here we go into game 2, guys. Baconator against Question Mark. We have, again, on the left side, we have Baconator here. Just the fact that he has Odin here means he's not running Ra. And speaking of Ra, it seems that Question Mark just took him. So we're going to be seeing Odin on the left side being played by Baconator, and on the right side, Question Mark playing Ra. So why don't we get into this game, look into these hands, and we see a lot of stuff. Why don't you take us into this lot of stuff, Illy? Go ahead.
I'm going to start off generally with the matchup. This is very much a teeter-totter. And if Ra can manage to remove Odin's stuff that he's going to flood the board with, Ra can win. But if Odin managed to get anything on board that sticks, Ra is going to suffer really, really bad. And if you look at Ra's hand, he's only got one removal spell. He's only got a Sunder. This is bad. He needs to find some removal, and fast.
And this is really bad. Exactly what you said. And kind of as opposed to what Question Mark ran last game, looking over at Baconator's hand, we see a Blade Master. Do you think Question Mark was running a Blade Master in his deck last game? I don't think so. But
I don't remember. I don't think so either. No, he wasn't.
The thing is, we have a bit of a mid-ranged Odin who does have a lot of early power. So right now, Ra is able to move out and just deal a little bit of removal to Odin's backline here, to Baconator's backline. And I want to see if he'll be able to follow up, because if Ra can get out of this early game into the late game, he'll be powerful. He'll be very powerful, especially looking over his deck list before. He does have, what, 2 BDKs?
Super late game.
Yeah, super late game. So right now in the hands of Baconator, he has charge. Yeah, Fire Giant. Fire Giant, a very powerful guard right now, giving a global guard. And it's just a very good presence on the board to have as well with that 7 power. So he just drew that Fire Giant, but really, do you want to draw a Fire Giant 4 mana into the mana into the game? No, not at all. It's
especially not against Norse.
Especially when you want that removal, and when you have a Calder in your backline, it's not looking good right now. He was able to take out
Calder
that
in the backline and a Surtur on board.
Yeah. And now we have those 2 Blade Masters to kind of even it out. So yeah, you were able to draw Fire Giant. I'm drawing a Blade Master. I guess we're both getting the bottom end of our decks here. Gonna be able to.
He's also
trade.
got yeah. He's got a 4 mana Loki.
Oh, there it is.
With charge.
4 mana Loki with charge going down. Basically, that's just a Loki with charge. And there he goes down, able to deal that damage, taking out the enemy leader. Ra just going down. It does not differ at all from Smite. So if you're coming over here, seeing this game for the first time, you're probably feeling the same way as these guys are right now.
Yeah, just rage-inducing Loki players.
Oh yeah.
Just Loki mains. T2, T4 needs to never play ranked. But this Ra needs removal. I keep saying it now. Like he needs an execute, and he just drew a Decrepit Bowman.
Oh yeah, that's removal, right?
Question mark just got horrible luck with his draws. Like he has double Magma Slam, double execute. He doesn't have any last. Does he have any last breath?
I don't think so. I don't think many people are running last breath.
I'm gonna have to double check it because now I'm curious. But I mean, overall, regardless, he didn't have. Yeah, he does not have last breath in his deck list.
He has half of the cards that he started out with. He has a Khepri and a Neath and a Fire Giant. Khepri and Neath were in his hand since the start. If you're not getting early cards in this current meta, in this current game type, then you're gonna see yourself sitting in a corner hoping for the best. And exactly what you said before, we're gonna see a huge snowball coming out of here. You're gonna be wishing that that none of this was happening, that the next game can start. That's what QM is sitting right now. He's sitting in the corner with the Stropes and wishing for the best.
There's the coerce, mostly just for the heal, to be honest. It's gonna give everybody on the field for the Norse player. Oh, that's a Decrepit Bowman. That's not what I want to see.
I feel so bad. These are not the cards you want to be drawing. This is not anything you want. Like you said before, too,
yeah.
You want the removal.
He needs an annihilation, and he needs it now, this turn, and for some reason to magically cost 1 less than it does. Because he's lost. I'm pretty sure he can kill the stone.
We have a frenzy coming up, so.
Oh goodness! No, I didn't even look at the frenzy.
Yeah, he'll be able to range down. Yeah. He'll be able to get an next turn though. He'll be
3 plus an additional 3 is 6 plus 4. Yeah, no, he had lethal with frenzy and the two archers. Yeah, I think he's now realizing it because he's just kind of sitting there like, oops.
He can play Blade.
Oh wait, that archer's
kind of
out of range.
More removal if he wants. This archer has been out of range. The thing is, he won't be able to finish off the stone this game. He had to remove the Stropes. Frenzy would have cost him a little bit more damage than he wanted to put into it. So he's gonna go ahead, throw down a Blade Master, remove the Rock. I think so. It'll just bring him down to 2 health, and then he can follow up with the Odin because he's next to a Surtur. Yeah. Or he can just archer it down and just trade off one of his health from. Yeah, there it is. So a lot of options here.
Yeah.
When you're snowballing, it really doesn't matter which direction you're going with the snowball to get it bigger. It's just as long as the snowball gets bigger.
He's gonna get the Loki cleared to the stone there as well. So this is pretty much GG at this point. He's got to find Annihilation with this draw, or he's lost the game.
There it is. There's an honor. Yeah. I love.
That's
there's an honor. Annihilation.
Move on, bro. Not gonna save you.
So, really, have you been seeing much Bastet in the current meta too? I don't think I've been running into too much Bastet. Like I've
seen it.
Question Mark is running 2 Sobek, and I don't think any Bastet is he.
I don't. No, he doesn't have any Bastet in here.
Okay.
Bastet's just one of those cards that, because it's changed right now, so you kill it and it drops 3/1/1s.
Yes.
It's a 2/2, so you're getting 5/5 worth of stats.
Yeah. Okay.
For relatively low mana cost, so it's an efficient card. But is it worth putting in your deck and perhaps sacrificing removal slots?
So it really
Probably
wouldn't have helped him out here at all.
No.
So it was just the fact that Ra doesn't have that much. Really, he didn't have his control potential. He just didn't draw it. That seems to be what's happening.
He drew his late game.
Yeah, he got all of his late game. He got a Khepri, a Neath, a Fire Giant, all within the first 2 turns. Ew. So guys, like, one more thing is like, it seems to be that this meta is going into a place where, yeah, you can have 25 cards in your deck, but if you're not drawing those special 4 cards at the start of the game, then you can just kiss the game goodbye, go on to the next one.
Pretty much.
Yeah. So guys, we're gonna get into the next game. It's going to be winners game 1. We're going to have Belgian Grump against Baconator. So guys, we'll be back. Baconator moving on to the winners final. We'll see where he can go from here. Will Belgian Grump be able to take him out? Question mark being taken out of the tournament at this, or being taken into losers bracket from this point on. We'll see if we'll see question mark once again, but from here on, we're gonna see if Baconator and Belgian Grump. We're gonna see what those guys can do. We'll be back, guys. Stay tuned. Thank you for coming by, and we'll get into the next game soon. Well, here we go, guys, into the winners final. We have Belgian Grump here against Baconator, and it's going to be Ra versus Zeus. I don't even need to look that Zeus is going to be Baconator. And on the left side, we have Belgian Grump playing as Ra. Somebody just finally, maybe we'll have one person representing Ra here, because it doesn't seem that Baconator will be representing Ra today. Playing RG's in the back, moving up, and probably going to be dealing one basic attack over to Ra. Nope, just ending his turn. Why don't you take us into these hands, Illy? Just go ahead and spill it all out, all this information. We've already seen this Zeus, but what about Ra?
Ra has drawn double Magma Slam, and has some minions, and has a Sunder. This is a great Ra hand. This is great for Belgian Grump, because against a Zeus, he's got to remove board early, and that Argus can be very, very annoying. He's going to Magma Slam it, and I think it's definitely worth the spell, because that card can draw so many cards to the Zeus player, and in a control v control matchup like this, whoever has the most card draw can certainly have a huge advantage.
I think I like Baconator's hand. I gotta say, like, I know there's not a lot of bulk to it. I know you pulled that Athena, but you have a lot of early game. You have that Nemesis, you have an Aphrodite to follow up soon after, and no Medusa. He's going to go ahead and Magma Slam Baconator right in his face, give a basic attack, and kind of taunt him as he's brought to the graveyard. He's also going to remove that back line archer just to kind of open up the board. Zeus being played out once more, going to have to skip basically his next turn, giving Ra more time to just move out here. Sobek will be played out in between the two pillars here, and now looking over at Baconator, he's not in a good position now, is he?
No, and having to play that Zeus on turn 4. The game, more so the control of the game, but in this case he had that option and he took it.
Yeah, he has answers every time Baconator puts down a question. You have Belgian Grump answer, and it's all removal. So first of all, here's the first answer that Baconator has, is he's able to place down this Nemesis, have the health of Sobek, and look, now you have a 2 health Sobek. Is that really a thing that matters? I don't know. He's gonna go ahead and give a basic attack with Scylla, but it's in the wrong order.
I don't think he was planning on trading. That might have been an order thing. Might have been.
I think he's thinking about it now.
That's awkward. Because for those of you who don't know, when Scylla gets played, she can charge for her basic attack value. Yeah, it was a misplay.
Ooh, no.
And if she kills a unit, then she gets an attack bonus. So if he would have basicked with the Zeus first, and Scylla would have been up in that I'm a monster, been all scary and stealth-like.
Horrible.
And instead, she's like sitting on the grounds and yeah, I'm little red.
Yeah, she's still a little monster.
Little monster. And Baconator is making these plays towards his Athena play next turn, would be my guess. He's trying to get units down to 2 HP. It's probably why he initially Nemesis.
Yeah, something I've seen a lot in different pro scenes of different games. We take those. So definitely, I know that Belgian Grump is kind of saying to himself, we take those. He's just going to kind of move in from there, and now Zeus again is dead. And as we said before, if your leader dies once, okay, just put him back on the field. But if you have to put him down twice, you're likely not looking good for the rest of the game. But also, Zeus has a lot of gods in his hand. He has a Thanatos, he has Aphrodite, he has a lot of cards that he can answer with. Finally, Scylla becoming a monster, becoming 4-2. Ra now coming down. He's going to be able to fall to Nemesis here, and being able to gain control of the board now with Scylla and Athena. This is looking a little bit better for Baconator. Yeah, it's Athena.
He got that Athena down, and that Athena did a bunch of damage, and is now a huge 3/7 body standing right in front of the Anher.
Yeah.
And the Zeus, though, you got to keep in mind, Baconator still got that Zeus in hand, so that's a turn that he's going to spend playing his leader card, or may spend playing his leader card when he's not developing minions.
Now he could play Zeus or play out Medusa. I think there's a lot of time that he needs to kind of think about what he wants to do here. So he's going to go ahead and trade that on her down with Nemesis, being able to remove Nemesis, but you still have Athena just sitting there in your face. I think that was a good call in that he didn't want Nemesis to move up, but still, you're going to have that monster be able to creep up and deal some damage on her, but that's going to trade out for the Scylla. So I think he's going to go ahead and take this turn behind this half of the arena here, so he's not going to go ahead and move up into Ra's face, and we're just going to kind of see these two try and kind of develop more board of their own. Looking at the hand of Baconator, we have a lot of cards. Looking at the hand of Belgian Grump, we have no late game. It doesn't look good. It doesn't look good for Belgian Grump. I know that he does have only 3 cards, and he did have a great early game, but he's not going to fun.
It's too early in the game to call it just yet. This is a control v control matchup. Neither of these players have a ton of burst onto the stones, where earlier we would see an Odin player getting massive amounts of damage over one turn. That's not going to happen. This is going to be a slow chip down on the stones. So Belgian's got a lot of time to find answers. He just drew a Book of the Dead too, which is a very strong card in a control v control game.
Yeah, so he'll just be able to burst out a lot of stuff all at once. For those of you that don't know, Book of the Dead, as long as 3 gods have died in the game, you'll be able to bring out all 3 gods in one turn. They won't have charge, but the fact is, you'll be able to have 3 guards onto the field all at once. Now the thing is about this is Nemesis was played. A lot of early gods were played. Sobek, Nemesis, and I don't think a third one has been played, but on her. So if you want to play Book of the Dead now, go right ahead, man. Go ahead and take those amazing cards that have been calling for you. Or just wait a little bit later to maybe get a Medusa out here. To maybe get something a little bit more heavier. So now Ra developing his side of the board, and we see Zeus back on the field. Thanatos is going to go down, execute, and now we can see that Baconator trying to take over the side of Belgian Grump.
Baconator has one answer with one Thanatos, but he doesn't have a judgment, which can be really tricky. Some of these cards on the side of Ra can have a bit larger health, and looking at the deck list, we know that Belgium runs 1 Anubis, 2 Neaths, a Kepri, and 1 Blade Master and a Phantom Grasp, as well as the Book of the Dead and Annihilation. So he's going to have some higher health minions that might be harder to deal with.
So where Belgian Grump kind of started out with a lot of removal, he just didn't develop into the late game. Baconator, he doesn't have any removal, but he had a lot of, stuff to put on the board. He had a lot of gods, he had a lot of minions, he just had a lot of board. And now this is kind of showing where he's kind of pushing back in this tug of war that is the battle between Baconator and Belgian Grump. And right now, it seems that Belgian Grump is kind of letting go. Again, this game definitely isn't over, especially while Book of the Dead is still in his hand. And Neath can also come out and deal so much ranged damage, especially against this composition. If you place Neath in a perfect position, she'll be able to get so much worth out. But looking over at Baconator, he has Medusa that will be able to come out next turn if he so chooses. And I think that's exactly what the play is going to be unless he draws something a little bit better.
I gotta take this back to that Magma Slam on the Zeus earlier on in the game.
Yeah.
Belgium was having answers for every single card that Baconator played. And then he Magma Slammed the leader as a tempo play. As a tempo play with a control deck, which to me was very, very, very confident. But it might not have been the correct play. You're going to see the Blade Master come down and get protected by the Zeus ability there.
Yeah, I like that play a lot.
No, 4/4 protect 1. This is scary.
Yeah. I like that a lot. He was able to trade with that Neath. That Blade Master was a perfect pickup. He doesn't need to play that Medusa right now. That Blade Master was an easy answer to Neath. I think Neath was a really scary card, and he just drew the answer. So there goes his removal. Baconator, again, that's another form of Zeus removal, is a Blade Master. And being able to give 1 protect to a Blade Master is insanely just frightening. Though Blade Master can only move 2, so can Ra. And Ra's going to try to run away, but to no effect, because Blade Master is on your tail.
Yeah, and Ra hasn't drawn any executes yet. This play that Baconator made is really weak against an execute, because taking out a 4/4 protect 1 with an execute is definitely worth the trade.
Oh, yeah.
However, I think he had a cold read that he didn't have execute. So we're going to see the silence come out for the Athena to remove the protect, knock her down to a 3/1.
That sucks that you're just not able to remove it.
Yeah.
Still won't be able to. He's gonna go ahead and fist it down. But do you really want to stun the Athena?
No. You want to save that stun for a Blade Master or for something bigger, rather than just a 3/1 Athena.
Yeah, that Blade Master on the board right now is scary enough to deserve.
It does 1 damage. Yeah, I actually think I would have stunned the Blade Master.
So there goes down Thanatos, a little bit more removal on the side of Baconator, and he's just able to kind of crawl back into this game, where in the early game, yeah, like you said, that Magma Slam on the leader was just greedy. He was able to take the early game very easily, especially with that removal, and kind of move in, but Even though Baconator still misplayed with that Scylla, Scylla was still able to come back and get so much worth, and now we're seeing Baconator on the side of Belgian Grump being able to take back this turn. I want to see how he can bring this back, because I think Belgian Grump still has a chance here, but with Khepri sitting in hand against a Nemesis, Teleport, and Doom Speaker, a little bit more cannon fodder for the sign of Baconator. It just doesn't look clean, doesn't look nice. Though there is still possibility.
Yeah, Belgian Grump is by no means out of this because Annihilation is still a card.
Oh yeah.
And Annihilation would do a number on this board. It wouldn't clear it, but it would do certainly a very large amount of damage. Yeah. I think that's one out that Belgian can definitely look for.
It sucks because you have, you know, a 1/25 chance of getting that card at all during this game. So like, it's simple probabilities, only that he needs that card at some point. I'm sure that if you mulliganed it at the beginning of the game, that is very understandable. We don't get to see the mulligans here, sadly, but it just sucks that people have been praying for this card. And right now that God's Health are 1/6, 1/8, those Annihilation is going to do a lot more in this current meta.
And not to mention, it does do damage to stuns as well.
Oh yeah.
So that can push a little extra damage in and win you a game that you might otherwise lose. This Hades draw is big. He's gonna elect to play the Nemesis first. Let's see if he plays the Hades though. Medusa's gonna go ahead and petrify the Neath. I kind of want to see him play the Hades. It's just another big body, and Ra has shown that he doesn't have the answer, which would be an execute for a big body.
Yeah, being able to move down around, playing that Hades in a great position to even get that Sobek away, we'll just be able to control that Sobek, giving you a little bit more control. There goes the Protect on the Blade Master, going ahead and trade with the Sobek instead of what I said, which is not the smarter play. And now I'm going to go ahead and try to trade with the monster here. And there goes down the Athena, taking so much damage from that Scylla. It was very... Yeah, and there's that Hades finally. Not doing much, but enough presence on the board to be a nuisance.
Yeah, Ra needs this Annihilation, and Ra needs it now. It's a 1 in 10, and he didn't get it this turn, so he's got a 1 in 9 next turn.
Yeah.
Still not dead. You've got 18 life left on those summoning stones, so you've got a while. You got a while yet. I really like that auto from the Ra player. He pokes the Nemesis down to 3 health. I think he's trying to
bait it out,
set up the Annihilation.
Oh yeah, and especially like looking, if he did draw Annihilation that turn, nothing would have died. Yeah, the Nemesis would have died from the basic attack, but nothing would die from the Annihilation. We're at a point in the game where everyone's putting cards on the field that are above 3 health, that require a little bit more follow-up. So there goes down the Khepri in the bottom left, being turned to stone in this desert, and Medusa is in a very comfortable position. I don't see any way that Zeus or that Ra can remove that Medusa, a very powerful card, the second most powerful card in the game, arguably, aside from Anubis before he was buffed or patched. But looking at this now, Baconator has a really nice hand, and Belgian Grump has a really nice not hand.
Yeah, well, I mean, Belgium played all of his cards.
He had to.
He's got 9 left in his deck, so he's got an Anubis in there. He's got he played both on hers. He's got another Chaos Spawn, another Sobek, both of his executes, a Phantom Grasp, the Annihilation.
Are those Decrepit Bowmans down there?
Yeah, Decrepit Fractures.
Oh, they're Fractures. Okay, good to know.
Yeah, it's the,
yeah. Alright, so, yeah, just in case anyone here doesn't know.
There's Goobus.
There's the Goobus. If he can bring out that Goobus, he'll be able to deal not enough damage to really anything anywhere. He needs to be able to find a great place to play, to put this down, because looking over at Athena and Hades, you can put it down in the bottom right if you trade your Fracture, which he did not. He could probably attack the Blade Master and Hades if he positions it right, but I think he's looking to protect it between the stones here. But then again, you have Medusa, who's able to easily counter the Anubis here.
He's got no other play. This is the best. He's gonna actually use it on the Medusa. Like you're saying, Medusa does counter it very, very well. So what do? You kill the counter.
You kill the counter.
I like that play.
And there it is right there. Finally able to take out that Medusa in the top left, who is sitting very comfortably now. Reduce the ashes now in the sands. Uh, Baconator, again, being able to respond with a lot more. He has Judgment now in hand, Enyo to be able to follow up if he really wants to give his front line a lot more power to potentially remove. And then if he really wants to bring out his leader card once more, he could. But there's no worth for that. He's going to go ahead and teleport Anubis to the front line so that he can deal with him from afar.
He's gonna play the Inyo way in his background too. Just throw that flag up there.
He has
Kill the Anubis with the Blade Master. Yeah, he's running out of space, right? But no, he's gonna play it in the backline because his leader's dead. Because I'm smart. I realize that.
It's all good.
But he's gonna go ahead and use the Inyo flag to trade out the entire board.
I love his positioning here. Everything worked out perfectly. If you have Enyo in hand, if you have Khepri in hand, all you're looking for is to line everyone up, to align the planets so that everything works out. And he did it optimally. He did his turn in the way that should be doing it. He got all the attack bonus. There finally goes one removal in this game, taking out the Hades of everything here. Not the Athena that has been in this game since halfway through.
Yeah, it was a turn 6 play, right?
Yes. That was, as soon as she could come down, she came down easily, and she's still just standing there looking and poking everything that comes out onto this.
Well, Belgium's still hanging on though. He hasn't lost the game yet. He still needs to draw this annihilation. But the clock is ticking. This Zeus player is not running out of juice, and he's got double judgment.
Yeah,
this can kill one of these stones this turn. If he so chooses, he can double judgment the 8 health stone and kill it.
He's gonna give protect to his. That's a Tomb Speaker. He's gonna move up with the Doom Speaker and start dealing damage to Ra. He's gonna also lock Ra in so he can't move. And if he wants to, he can move Athena up so that he can't move at all. So he's just gonna go ahead and hit stones here. Ra won't be able to really come out into play this game at all. He's kind of sitting behind his stones, and though you will be able to summon anything around the stones. It's just not looking good for him. There's Blade Master. He does have a little bit more removal here.
Needed him a while ago. Unfortunately, it's a little late because the only thing he can kill is an Enyo flag or his Neat statue.
Yeah, that protect really helped him out. And there goes the flag. Finally taking that flag off the field, though. That's just one less damage that anyone around there will be able to take. Just not good.
Does he have?
No, he doesn't.
6, 7.
No.
No, that's 11 damage.
2 judgments, yeah. And Doom Speaker will
Judgments?
not be able to follow it.
Judgments target stones?
I don't think
I feel
so.
like I can't
well,
read the text.
We don't know anyway because he just targeted the. He got rid of that Blade
I would
Master.
assume not. Yeah, I would assume not then.
Because I know Annihilation can. I know that Dishonorable can as well. It's just. I want to see that he'll be able to come out of this. Like, Baconator is going to be able to finish off this game. Belgian Grump just kind of powerless, sitting in the corner watching as his stones are being taken.
He needs that annihilation, and he needs it 5 turns ago.
Yeah.
And
it doesn't matter.
there's
at this
an
point.
honor.
There's an honor. Yeah. So that second honor was the Book of the Dead. I just
Yep, that's what it was. That's right.
This is there goes
Unfortunate
down
for Belgium there. Again, that Magnus Land turn really early. That was a tempo play with a control deck, which I think is it's a fundamentally interesting way to approach this matchup, because if you out tempo the other control deck, you probably win. But I would have liked to see him try to outvalue the other deck, and obviously he didn't draw the greatest cards to be able to do that. And he doesn't run Ritual Tribute, which is the draw a god from your graveyard and give it +2/+2. That's a great value card, which he doesn't have. So maybe he thought, I can't outvalue, I have to out tempo.
Well, he doesn't have it because he has a Sobek. He has 2 Sobeks. He's not running Bast Stats, but he's also has 2 on hers. As soon as you get past on her, I think it's a little iffy. I think it's fine, but before on her included, I would not play Ritual Tribute. If you want any early game presence that aren't minions, don't run Ritual Tribute. If you're running Sobek and anything else early, it's just not worth it.
I think bottom line, Belgium's Belgium's deck was built to survive versus aggro, and Baconator's deck was built to survive versus aggro and also have a chance to outvalue
and
you.
Follow up. Yeah,
that's
exactly what he did. He was able to follow up here. There's nothing else to be said here. I think it came down that people weren't drawing what they should. I think Belgian Grump was just getting unlucky with his draws. He didn't
Oh,
get
absolutely. He had
Annihilation.
2 executes in the bottom 10.
Is he running Annihilation? He does have Annihilation. It's
Yeah,
hard
he
to
has
find people
Annihilation.
that don't have it. Yeah, okay.
He's
Well,
got
there it is, guys. Yeah, he does. He's running Annihilation. He just didn't get it. We'll be going into the next game, guys. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for tuning in. Just give us a few minutes, and we'll be getting you guys into the next game. Well, here we go again into winners 2 against Belgian Grump against Baconator. Baconator, we've seen a lot of games with Baconator. I think about 1 hour worth of games almost, but maybe about 30. Either way, let's get into this game. We have on the left side Baconator playing Odin, and on the right side we're seeing Belgian Grump's Ra once again. Someone who Illy said last game is a great counter to Rush. So will this come true? Will we be able to see Belgian Grump finally be able to take a game? Or will Baconator just take another 2-0? So here we go into this game. Illy, take us into these hands. Take us into some synopsis. What are we going to expect out of this game?
Well, it's a Sobek turn 1, which is the dream for the Raw player there. He wants to get that low mana cost card out early while it's still valuable. On the side of Baconator, he's drawn his soul double Frenzy Surtur and a Calder, so that's a pretty sexy looking hand. Like, if you can pop that soul out on top of a Surtur, that's a lot of damage over a really short period of time.
Yeah, and if you can get those archers out, those Hunter Sigil out, you'll be able to follow it up with double Frenzy as long as you get them in near the back line. But right now, let's not worry about the back line because Ra is now just moving into the front line. He's basically rushing down Odin full force, managing to get the stun out on Scotty in the back line, not making her relevant, a 2-3. I want to see what Baconator can do here because he does have, like you said, that Surtur, but not able to follow up with a Soul right now. Soul does have charge, which is a great call, and he does have that 4 mana if he does want to play that in the back line, so I love that. There goes down the Surtur. What's going to come down in the front line? He's going to go ahead and play Calder down in the front line with 4 attack power, 3 health right now. Going to be able to easily remove that Sobek, and now it looks like Odin will be able to take over this board and start pushing back, it seems. Right now it's hard to say because it is an even board, and Ra is now in the face of not only Odin, but also a Calder with a Surtur. There goes down the Magma Slam, taking out Scotty though.
And Ra's not too worried about controlling the board at this point. Ra's just worried about removing Odin's. But I mean, I said that poorly. Ra is worried about controlling board, but not so worried about having a board. Just worried about removing Odin's.
So just be patient.
Which he actually has an execute this game, so...
Yeah. So an early execute. The execute last game came very late. In fact, I think it came around turn 11, maybe 12. There goes down Soul, able to push out a lot of damage, taking out that back minion, but it's going to go ahead and split into 2 fractures, as we said before, and Odin will be able to move up, take out one of those fractures if he so chooses. Surtur in a great position to do so. I don't think he wants to.
He's gonna, I think, hit the Raw, maybe? I think I would hit the Raw here.
Yeah, because it would have brought him down to 1
The
health.
fracture's fine, too.
And then you could have just easily done a Soul Basic to kind of take away a little bit more damage from Raw. But yeah, it's fine.
That's true. Soul is 3 attacks, so don't. It's fine.
So they're Raw for the heal. And he's going to go ahead and play up a Departed Warrior, I think, up there. Either that or Chaos Spawn. Departed Warrior, I don't... Yeah, there it goes. Departed Warrior once dies, you get 1 card in your hand. So there goes 1 more basic on Soul. Not going to be able to deal that AoE damage because on reaction or on... when she does kind of attack back, she doesn't do her ability. So that was a really good get for Belgium Grove there.
Yeah, absolutely. Trade out the Soul while the Soul doesn't have the value that makes Soul. Soul. It's that Stellar Burst there.
What a great fate.
A Fate draw. I mean, I don't know about running Fate right now, because Fate does, as you saw, it does hit the Summoning Stone.
Yeah, and that's not really some value.
It's
That's not value at all.
Yeah. Now, it's an interesting play, although I suppose one thought process could be, if I play the Fate and it hits the stone, I'm a rush deck anyway, so I want to kill the stones anyway.
Yeah, but if you're getting into that late game, you probably already have control of the board. Never do these games usually go into like a very heavy... It's going to come down to who hits the last stone. It doesn't go into a base trade situation usually, who gets the hit on the last stone. Usually it does go down to who gets the snowball first.
This is going to be an easy Blade Master turn for Belgium. He's going to remove one of those Surturs, put himself down to a 4/5 on board, and he's got that Annihilation in hand, which is so scary because Baconator's playing Odin, which loves to put a lot of stuff on the board, a lot of small stuff. He's going to play this Hunter Sigil, which is going to be punished so hard.
And you know who's thinking Hunter Sigil's going to be great. He has 2 frenzies. He can always follow up with this Hunter Sigil. Yeah, he has to play it.
It's his win condition, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. So he
has to play this Hunter Sigil.
All eyes are on him.
He's going to play right into it. It's just so unfortunate. Ra has got the answer to the Odin's play in this situation.
Is he going to charge it? Yeah, he is. He's going to charge it. He'll be able to remove it if he moves up his Odin, gives 1 basic attack, and then follows up with Surtur. But that's trading a Surtur out, which could be a little bit more extra damage to follow up. But you know what? Go ahead and destroy that Blade Master. That's fine. Otherwise, he would have traded into his Surtur. There goes down Annihilation finally, and all the hopes of Baconator just crushed.
The play there, the reason why you charge and kill the Blade Master is because the Blade Master can remove something on your board, and your win condition is I need a big board. He's going to use the Discover to find a Soul. 1 mana Soul is pretty nasty if he had a charge for it, or charge for it. If he has more damage for it. He's going to Frenzy the Soul to deal 7 damage to 1 stone here, which is a good play. It's again, I keep saying win condition. This is his win condition. He has to kill these stones faster than Ra can play stuff, because Ra's stuff will be bigger than his.
Well, there goes down the Magneslam, finally removing Soul. Frenzy sitting in the hand of Baconator, not going to be able to follow up with that. Ra coming down into the mid right there between those 2 stones. Looking over at Odin, he's like, hey, sir, can you just move? Gonna poke him with a stick probably next turn and just delete that Odin from the board. Looking good for Belgium Grump right now. But for Baconator, I want to see him be able to push out more of a front line if he had more infrastructure, more economy in his hand, and he doesn't. Go ahead and move up, poke that next rock, now sitting at 4 health because that Blade Master does give him 3 extra health. And that was looking really nice, but it's going to be executed right away here. Right now, we're going turn for turn. As soon as somebody draws something, it's probably going to be played.
And that was Baconator setting up 2-turn lethal there. You've heard that term in other card games. That was 2-turn lethal because he had the Frenzy in hand and he played the Odin to get the other stone down at 9 health. It would have been 5 damage plus 2 damage each. So, you know, that's exactly what you need to win the game in that situation. But the execute is going to be the answer. I just don't see a way for Baconator to get back into this.
It sucks because he's right there. He's like reaching out for it, but it's always out of hand. the fact that you have to frenzy your Odin and then power up your crystal, power up your summoning stone over in the top, it's not looking good. And all Ra can do is just sit back and heal and kind of take it into the late game. Ra's just gonna even move up and start giving basic attacks to the stones. And Odin is now back in the hand of Baconator. There's nothing here. There's nothing here for Baconator. He's just top decking. He's been top decking just about the entire game. And every chance of victory, every time he had a sliver of hope for him to remove any of these stones on the board, it's always taken back from the removal that Ra has to offer from this early game. And now he's just barely keeping his head out of the water.
Yeah, it's super downhill from here for Belgium. He just has to keep pushing and take this one game at a time, you know, one game at a time. He's lost the first game, but it looks like he's going to claim the second one just at a value. Probably be able to move forward as a 1-1 in this series. I don't see Baconator lasting very much longer.
I want to. The fact that he's rooted right now, you know, it doesn't mean that he won't be able to run down the middle lane right there, or the right lane, the bottom lane there, and just kind of go towards that stone and take it off. It sucks for that he won't be able to follow up with that stone, but it's just been being healed every turn. So there goes down the GG, the surrender. He's not going to go ahead and put up with the rest of the game because there's literally nothing he can do. I think that's a good call.
Yeah, I don't think there are any outs in his deck. He already played both his Blade Masters, which was his burst, and he didn't have any other high attack minions except Loki. Yeah, Loki.
He did have Loki.
But I don't think even that.
Yeah, the fact that that stone was being healed every time, he would have needed a Loki and a sprint, and just been very patient to draw it. And I don't think is he running sprint and Loki? I don't think I've seen it yet.
He has sprint and haste and fatalis. So the out was there, but he would have had to draw on exactly Loki into exactly one of those two cards, which was 1 in 9 and then 2 in 8. So not great odds, basically. And he would have had to live that long.
And he would have to live.
Ra's
that was
gonna
not
keep
happening.
playing more stuff. Yeah. So good game there, close game. But that's what happens when Ra draws the removal.
All right, well, there we go. That was winners game 2. Right now, 1-1 in the side of Baconator and Belgium Grump. They're sitting even. We're going to go into game 3, the first game 3 of the day. Guys, thank you for joining us. Thank you for sticking around, and we will be getting into the next game. Stay tight. All right, well, once again, here we are, another game with Baconator, but we are in a game 3. Who can take it here? Will Belgian Grump be able to kick him down into losers, or will Belgian Grump finally meet his doom and kind of go into losers himself. But here we are, seeing it for the first time on the right side. Baconator finally bringing out that legendary Ra that everyone has been raving about, probably only me. And on the left side, Belgian Grump, we see already Hebo in hand, playing New Wa. We haven't seen a New Wa today, and we haven't seen Baconator's Ra yet. So I want to see what's going to come out of this game, how these guys are going to play. Go ahead and take us in, Ellie.
Nuwa is one of those decks that loves to face against aggro because of those 2 cards that you see in hand right there. Double Rushing Thunders. 2 mana, deal 1 to everything, including Summoning Stones. It'll be interesting to me, though, to see how it stacks up against a Ra deck, because Ra usually plays very high health minions. Oh.
Whoa. Ew.
Oh.
Ew. Did he just...
can we just, like, stop the recording right here and just call this game? Because...
Was that a minion recruiter? Oh, that was recruiter.
Yeah,
Sorry,
that was...
recruiter. Oh.
That's a 4 mana 6/7.
It just got returned.
He's gonna have. He has to Habwa the Sun Wukong and give Baconator the Sun Wukong battle cry, just because he literally can't deal with a 6/7 this early in the game.
That's so disgusting. He can't. If he moved out with that, he would have to retreat, and then he would have to take it basic by basic. He has enough ranged minions to take it out. Like if he just moved everything back.
But then Ra's not gonna just be sitting there doing nothing.
No, he's not gonna.
He's gonna be playing other cards.
You also have double Rushing Thunder with the Archer out, the Imperial Archer too. So that could deal some random damage. I want to see some hope, but the fact that he's gonna be able to now play that card is just so
and that's
scary.
And that's one of Belgium's only late game cards too.
Ew.
Oh, I suppose this is another
And he's gonna play the Outclang, which is an overstated minion. It's very powerful. Okay, he can still win this. He just needs that Dragon King, and he needs it, or he needs to be able to drop double Rushing Thunder with Outclang buff.
Would you Rushing Thunder the cats down, or just basic them down over the best? Yeah,
no.
I like the fact that he's kind of taking face them. Yeah, I like the fact that he's taking them face. I like also the Imperial Archer in the backline that will play in with the Rushing Thunders as well. It's just so nice to be able to have this kind of cohesion, to be able to work with the passive that is Imperial Archer. Every time you use an item card or a spell card, you do 1 random damage to anyone on the field. So, Outclang being played in the backline at 5/6, being very comfortable in the middle of nowhere, but will he be able to show up without being killed by Neath or anything? So there goes down that Rushing Thunder, so much on the board, able to deal 2 damage. There goes that 1 random hit from the Imperial Archer going on to Ra. 1 more Rushing Thunder will remove everything on the board besides some stones. So now New Wa is going to be moving up, dealing 1 basic attack to the rock, being able to finish it off with the Imperial Archer, and now looking over, you have 1 rock on the field on the right side sitting at 0-5, and that is just... what? That Rushing Thunder just completely turned the game around. I love where he played that. I love when he played that. What a crazy
This
game.
is insane. Like, he just dealt so much damage to board. Now he's got a 5 health stone. He actually wins the game
He can't do anything.
with a Dragon King easily. What's Baconator looking for? Probably like Annihilation, right?
Well, I feel like Annihilation still wouldn't be able to do enough. New Wa would still be able to come out, and Hebo could make a star appearance just to return that, return Sun Wukong back to his hand if he wants to. Emperor's Prize if he wants anything more out, and Chang'e if he wants to heal up after Annihilation would be nice as well. But he's just gonna go ahead and start dealing all this damage to Sun Wukong instead of the stone. Yeah, I like this idea only because now Sun Wukong has to face up against Outclang, and there goes down that Hebo returning into his hand, and it's not looking good for Baconator whatsoever here.
This is so tough because you recruited a Sun Wukong, and you just got double Rushing Thunder for so much. Like, and I said I wouldn't Rushing Thunder the cats, but I was completely wrong. That's so much damage that he just pushed with the Outclang spell damage.
And there's the game. Like, it doesn't matter what you can play here. Outclang is still up there at the top, and there he goes. He just calls it, plays down his Blade Master, not going to be able to follow up with anything. Evo just kind of laughing his way down into the abyss. And there it is, game 3. Very, very shocking take to that game.
That was brutal. That's I mean, Nuwa is definitely early. because of her hero ability, but we didn't even see that. We
We
just
didn't.
saw
We just saw
we just
Thunder.
saw raw control, just early game control. The raw player couldn't do anything.
He had no early game there, and the fact that he was able to recruit that out and still he was able to take that game very quick. I think that was about 5 minutes, and it's just insane. So
That's a testament to how good Belgian's hand was,
yeah,
because he recruited a Sun Wukong.
he recruited a Sun Wukong is just amazing, and he was able to react to it with a Hebo. Oh man, we're gonna get into the losers here. We have the losers finals to get into. We will find Baconator there against Pot Pie. So Pot Pie being able to move it into the Grands last tournament. I want to see if he'll be able to make it to the Grands this tournament. Very favored competitor. But now going up against Baconator, I think for the first time. I think he actually may have gone up against him last tournament, but it doesn't matter. We're going into it after this. What are your thoughts about that?
It's a tight match. I mean, both players are very, very widely respected,
Yes.
and both are excellent deck builders. So it's going to be interesting to see what their takes on their particular pantheons are.
Well, thank you, Illy. We'll be exactly what you said. We'll take you guys into the next game. Thank you guys for sticking around. Thank you guys for tuning in. Just give us a few minutes to set it up, and we will bring you more entertainment. Thank you. Well, here we go, guys, into losers game 1. We have on the left side Baconator playing Zeus, and on the right side we have Pot Pie making his debut in today's tournament as Guan Yu. So this is the first time we get to see Pot Pie this tournament, and of course we've been following Baconator here so far. Will he be kicked out of losers, and will Pot Pie move back into Grand Finals as he did last week? Or will Baconator finally be able to make his appearance into Grand Finals once again? Illy, what are your thoughts on this matchup, and what are your thoughts about, you know, these competitors in general?
Well, I mentioned earlier that Pot Pie and Baconator are both excellent deck builders, and Pot Pie's brought an interesting card into this matchup. He has brought the, let me get the name right, Arcane Conduit, which is a 3-mana deal 2 AoE around your summoning stones whenever you cast a spell, which is a bit of a mouthful, but it's interesting, and I want to see if it actually gets any play in this particular matchup, or if it's even viable. Apparently Pot Pie thinks it's so.
Well, maybe it can help out against Thanatos. I mean, if you get Thanatos into the backline, and it'll just be able to deal that 2 damage to him as it kind of comes out and makes him worth. So there goes down a, well, speaking of which, there goes down that 2-2 in the back line, and if he so chooses, As long as that guy stays around, he'll be able to deal some free damage with the Crescent Blades, and that Imperial Archer is just going to be able to get more and more strength as he kind of just amasses, but it's really not going to matter. Thanatos can easily come down.
Yeah, no, that card gains +1 attack every time you play a spell. So he played in the back line to attempt to buff it up and make a big card. He made a 5/2, but 2 health against Zeus is super weak. So he didn't play around with Thanatos. Yeah, well, he basically he gambled that Baconator didn't have a Thanatos, which is a really risky play, which did not pay off well.
Yeah, he knows that he's running 2 Thanatos. He has to know this. And the fact that you're mulliganing too, you're probably looking for a Thanatos, especially against a Guan Yu, that one of those is going to come out. So there goes that gamble. He obviously lost that gamble. Uguay coming down in the front line, though. I think I love that play as well. But Hades is just going to go ahead and send them right back to their homes.
It's another punish.
Yeah.
He gambled again that you don't have a Hades. He saw the Thanatos, so he's like, okay, so you kept for Thanatos. You probably didn't keep for Hades. He drew the Hades, and the Hades was what he needed to fear that Uguay away and fear that Guan away. So that aggressive play to put that now 5/5 into the Zeus's backline completely backfired, because now that Uguay is run for home.
Yeah, and now that Thanatos is in the backline, he's just going to be able to deal easy, free damage to the stone in the bottom right. He's just going to get away with that, like with no cost at all. He has no removal to answer the Thanatos right now, and as long as this Thanatos is still on the field, he'll be able to deal 3 damage every turn to that stone as Guan Yu watches from afar. Back over to Pot Pie, though. He wants to have some kind of answer here. He's going to go ahead and play that Imperial Guard in the front line. Every time you play a spell card, it will gain what, +1 attack or +1 movement, as well as
one attack, I think. Pardon? Is it movement and pardon?
Yeah, it's movement and pardon, or it could be completely wrong here. well,
either way,
we'll see.
I'm sure.
Yeah,
Twitch chat is spamming us right now.
It is 1 attack. It is 1 attack. It's 1 attack and pardon. 1 attack and pardon. Yeah. You can even see it in his hand right now. There's an Imperial Guard there. But either way, he's going to be able to easily remove this Uguay right here. Something he can play here in the front line is a Nemesis. He can also answer in with a Thanatos.
Yeah, he's weighing the options between Nemesis and Thanatos. He's going to play the Nemesis over the Thanatos, develop a 2/4 rather than a 3/2, and still be able to clear the 2/4 minion. And then he's going to protect up this Thanatos, probably push face damage, put that Guan at 1/1, puts it in range of the Athena, which he's got 2 Athenas, so he's probably looking to play an Athena on turn 7.
Mm-hmm. So I think exactly we'll be able to see that. Looking over at Pot Pie, he has such a lot of economy in his hand. Such a good place right now in the fact that he does have a lot of infrastructure, but he's not able to play it. So I want to say that he's in a good spot, but he is literally not in a good spot, sitting at 1/1 right now. Literally going to die this turn if he does anything besides stay still. He's going to go ahead and move up into the face and play down an Ao Kuang, which that does seem like a good play. He's going to go ahead and remove that Thanatos that has been dealing damage in his backline, though.
It's certainly it's a 2 mana, or it's a 0 mana deal 2 damage spell than that Crescent Blade. The problem with Pot Pie's hand is he's got double Chang'e and a Habwa, and Habwas are just awful against Zeus because every single one of these gods has an amazing war cry. So you just don't want to play the Habwa, and your Chang'e just turns into a 0/5 that heals you, which isn't a very good way to spend your turn. So he's going to play pretty much his only option, which is the Ao Kuang into the Crescent Blade, remove a threat, and develop a threat.
Now, I think what you said before, you can play the Athena in the top, going to remove the Guan Yu, as well as deal some damage to the stone, and some damage as well to the Ao Kuang. Or he could also play an RGs and sell if he wants to develop a little bit more hand, but I think what you said before, he does have enough hand. He's looking fine here. He's going to go ahead and play that Athena up top, deal all that damage, move back with the Hades, deal 2 damage just to clear up the board. And he'll be able to move in from here with 1 basic attack, bringing that stone to the bottom right down to 6 health. He's looking really good here. What would you do from here on out? Like, 'cause right now he can just kind of, as we've said in the past, snowball forward and just kind of take this game. But Pot Pie, he does have a lot of infrastructure in his hand. It's just he doesn't have a leader to follow up with, and he doesn't have the removal with that leader. So he's going to go ahead and play down that Hebo.
I mean, that is it's an unfortunate play because it's the only play that he thinks he has. Play that Hapwa because he's got to remove something. But the fact is, removing it just makes it powerful again because now you've got a 5-mana Warcry in your hand. He's probably betting on Baconator's hand being too clunky for him to get the value from that, though.
Well, there goes down the Imperial Archer in the bottom right, which would have been so useful earlier in the game. Instead of that one melee minion he put in the bottom right, now he's putting that Archer down there that can deal 1 random damage every time a spell card is played. The problem is we have no leader to play spell cards, and even if he wanted to bring out Guan Yu next turn, which I think would be a fine idea, it's just to be able to follow up off of that will be for naught. So he's going to go ahead and deal 1 basic attack over to Hagwa, taking down to 5 health for Athena. 1 basic attack down to the bottom right Archer, and finish it off with a Thanatos, and it's not even going to matter from here.
And look at the positioning from Baconator. This is something that you got to keep in mind always. You're playing against Chinese. They probably have a Dragon King, so he's doing a very nice job of staggering his minions so that they're all in different rows. Little thing, but something to keep in mind. He's playing around that option.
Yeah, he's especially, you can see that with the Aphrodite. Usually, especially me, would play that Aphrodite behind my god. Would play it in the back line. You know, still you have that Athena who is vulnerable. Another Athena coming down the bottom right though. You also have that option of Medusa if you want to get out a lot of power, and Hades if you want to get a lot of control. But he has so many options, and Pot Pie just doesn't have any answers. So it's going to be a slow loss here as these stones start to lose health. These stones seem to be more of a side effect from the game instead of taking the game in most cases. If you understand what I mean there.
Yeah. Pot Pie's best options at this point is to find a transfusion from one of these Chang'as, which is why he's playing him. But he hasn't found it yet. He's found a Rushing Thunder. He's got that Dragon King in hand, but like I mentioned, the positioning from Baconator is going to defeat that. But like you were saying with the stones, before, if you kill the leader, you won the game. In this case, if you kill the leader, you usually have board control, which means that you're killing the stones and you're winning the game anyway. So the stones are just dragging the game out more rather than necessarily creating a different style of game.
But, well, there it is. Dragon King still in the hand of Pot Pie. We're going to go ahead and end that game as Zeus was able to take that pretty convincingly. I don't think there was any argument to what people were drawing, how the game went. That was just
Pot Pie made a couple of risks in the early game. He played that 5-2, and then he played the Uguay right next to the Zeus. He got punished with the Thanatos, and he got punished with the Hades. So he made 2 gambles, and neither paid off. Yeah.
So guys,
he rolled the dice.
We're gonna get into losers game 2. We'll see if Baconator will be able to take it, or if we'll go into a game 3, and Pot Pie will be able to make it into the grand finals. Can somebody stop this man? We saw Belgian Grump already being able to take a set off of Baconator, but will Pot Pie be able to put him to shame, or will Baconator move on to the grand finals? Let's find out next game to see if we'll go into a game 3, guys. Thank you for staying around. Thank you for staying tuned. And we'll get you into the next game. Thank you. Well, here we are once again, game 2 of losers, guys. We have Pot Pie on the left side and Baconator on the right. I want to see what they can do here because this is something that, coming into today's tournament, I thought I was only going to see this. I thought I was only going to see Odin. I thought I was only going to see Guan Yu. Instead, I was proven wrong with a bunch of Nuwa, a bunch of Ra, a bunch of Zeus. Zeus, I've definitely been seeing him a lot, but I thought it was going to be mostly more rush instead of sustaining. So here we are getting into game 2 of losers. Like I said, Baconator on the right, Pot Pie on the left. Get into their hands, Ellie. Let's just tell me, what do these guys have? What kind of potential can we see in this game?
Tons of spells for Pot Pie. You got Transfusion, Rushing Thunder, Dragon King, and Emperor's Prize. Rushing Thunder is amazing against Norse, but the Dragon King is a little less so because it's more single target. You can still see it be very, very useful though. He's gonna plop that that 2/2 unit in the back there. Surtur down, Scotty already removed from Baconator.
Yeah, I like Baconator's hand. It's just, I think right now I like Pot Pie's a little bit more. I say this, but Baconator doesn't have any Hunter Sigil. He doesn't have these archers that will be able to come out and frenzy out the enemy down to victory. In fact, if he did, Rushing Thunder would be a great answer to this, no doubt. But there it is. There goes down a Soul. Soul will be able to have charge and be healed up to a 3/3. The God ability will bring him up in damage, bringing now Guan Yu down to a 1/1. And that is huge in that he's already going to be able to have board control so early on into this game, especially as Odin. There it is. There's that rush. There's the Rushing Thunder coming down on everything, dealing so much damage, but not able to remove anything. Everything is kind of brought down.
He's gonna have to use double Crescent Blade. Yeah, he's gonna have to use double Crescent Blade to remove that Soul, which is such a big deal. That speedy little 5/2.
He just snuck his way into death.
Attack and movement. Yeah. Zoom, 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 all the way up to the front line.
That's insane.
Odin, you think you're safe? I don't think so. I mean, Chinese plays a lot of spells, and that 2/2 is never out of range.
That was awesome. But Baconator, he'll be able to respond to this. If he wants to place down Odin in the front line, he can do it right here, maybe even one spot lower so that he can get in a little bit faster. I think instead he's going to be looking to deal as much damage as he can to the front line. Calder coming down in a nice choke point, but there's really nothing going to be looking to go down that way. There we have Guan Yu sitting at 1/1. Once again, he's in a very useless position in that Guan Yu can't do anything right now. He kind of has to run away. Not only that, but he can't play his leader next turn. He would have to kind of sacrifice if he wanted to have a little bit more power on his leader, if he wanted to have a little bit more health. In fact, he's put in this retreat situation where he has to keep his leader alive, but also...
But look at what Pot Pie drew. Pot Pie drew an Ao Kuang, and he has another Rushing Thunder in hand from that Emperor's Prize. So 7 mana turn next time, Ao Kuang Rushing Thunder Crescent Blade is 2 damage to all, and then an additional 2 damage to one person. So this could be big.
This will be big, only because there goes down the Loki. If he wants to remove the Loki, go ahead. I don't think he's going to be looking for the Surtur. I think Rushing Thunder is definitely coming down right now. There it goes, dealing all this damage out, and then we have 2 damage, or 2 health still sitting on Loki right now.
He played Rushing Thunder before he played the Ao Kuang.
Oh no. That didn't could have actually.
This is another fine day.
So he's actually gonna kill his own Guan Yu because of that small mistake there. And this Loki's gonna have 1 additional health. The Odin's gonna have 1 additional health. The Summoning Stone's even gonna have 1 additional health. That's a misplay.
Yeah, we take those. There it is. There goes down the Loki.
He's gonna kill the Ao Kuang.
It's such a shame. He should not have to lose like that. Of course, this game is going to come down to how well you play a tactical game. But if some of those decisions are just made out of order, you can lose this game very easily. And I think that really just brought him out of this game. And it's going to be a slow snowball to victory for Baconator here.
Norse now has board control. I'm not sure it would have made a difference, but it is definitely a mistake there. He's going to be able to remove this. I think he has to use the Dragon King on this Loki,
which is sad because he's.
I just don't see.
There's no other way.
I don't see another way he can win. Even if he Emperor's Prize, but he doesn't have any minions, does he?
No, he doesn't. He has not. He can always get a
Crescent Emperor's Prize for the train. Yeah, he got the Crescent Blade. He's looking for
Emperor's.
so I think.
He can't even
He's gonna have
Emperor's
to
it if he
hero
wants.
power. Oh, he already hero powered. What did
Okay.
he?
He just brought
What
him
was
down.
that spell?
That was what? Oh.
This isn't Roman.
Yeah, this isn't Roman.
What was that spell?
I was like thinking exactly that. He played Transfusion. I'm sorry. Yeah, that's
Oh,
exactly what happened.
Transfusion, yeah,
He
yeah,
played
okay.
Transfusion, not Demoralize. I thought it was Demoralize.
That's not right. Demoralize doesn't work like that. Either way, I mean this game's pretty toast, regardless of that's just a weird interaction because you usually play your transfusion on your own cards.
Yeah, I like that.
But either way,
defensive
I don't see an
play
out.
there. Yeah, I don't see an out. Exactly what you're saying. Loki's just going to be able to go and deal 1 damage to that stone. There goes down a... yeah, he's just... There's no way you can get out of this. Sprint, even if
Can I have a transfusion for Smite that I can
Yeah, that would
cast
be
on my
awesome.
enemy Lokis, so that when they ult me, I just laugh at them? That would be great, right?
They just ult you with a feather.
Yes. I'm so down.
A tickle fight. Really.
The next April Fool's patch, Pyros, make it happen.
Yeah, just put out a feather.
Potion of
Right.
Transfusion. Don't have any description of it, and say it's
You
great
throw
for
it.
Loki. Should definitely buy it.
Great for Loki.
And then all the enemies just buy Potion of Transfusion and do nothing.
There goes down the Dragon King. He's going to be able to deal 1 damage if he wants to get rid of that removal, but really, there's no way out of this. I don't think
No,
Pot
he
Pie can get out
can't
of
win
this.
this game.
It sucks. Pot Pie definitely had a great run for this game, and then it was a small mess up. That's all. You just do things out of order, and you can't redo them. You can't undo your turn.
Yeah. I'm not sure if the order really would have made a difference because the Norse player did have a
Oh, he had a lot more to follow up.
forward there.
He had a
But,
look. He had sprint, but
Yeah. Either
There it
way,
is.
it's unfortunate, but there it goes. That's Pot Pie out of this tournament, and Baconator moving on.
Baconator moving on to grand finals. We will be seeing Belgian Grump, who he just faced, who he just lost to. Now he's going into grand finals. Maybe Belgian Grump will be able to take this. Maybe. So, guys, we will get into the next game. Thank you for staying around. Thank you for staying tuned. We're getting into the grand finals. If you're moving now, if you have something to do, I hope you're coming back at some point because this is going to be large. We have followed Baconator all the way to grand finals, oddly enough. Just like last week, it was with Pot Pie. This week, it's with Baconator, and we're going to be seeing an awesome grand finals, I guarantee you guys. So stick around, guys. We'll get more action for you. Thank you. Well, here we are, guys. Grand Finals, we're finally into it. Baconator coming all the way here from round 3, losing to Belgian Grump. Belgian Grump, a very, very scary force, not to be reckoned with. Bringing out the Ra, though, we have Belgian Grump on the right, and on the left side, we have Zeus being played by Baconator, already playing that marksman in the back line, something we definitely haven't seen this entire tournament at all. But here we go, getting right into the game. Illy, take us into these hands, take us into the matchup, take us into these players. What are we going to expect in this grand finals? Let's go.
I mean, this is hype, right? This is the game that knocked Baconator out, and now he's coming back for vengeance. You see Ra use that Sunder to remove the marksman. You have to. Marksman, you saw it earlier. We saw a 4-2 marksman on the board doing so much work, and there's the other marksman going to be played by the Zeus player. I mean, look at Zeus's hand though. Blade Master, Judgment, Athena, such a high curve, and Belgian has got the double Sunder.
Belgian has a lot of, and we've said this a lot, stuff in his hand. He has those neaths, but really he won't be able to play it out in the early game. Decrepit Bowman, if he wants to throw it in the back, he's going to go ahead and remove that archer in the back line. And if he wants to follow up, he can't really get any board right now. That archer, though it is only a 1-2, I would have liked to see him kind of keep it around just to develop a little bit more board, maybe even a Decrepit Bowman in the back line. He's going to go ahead and, we're going to have Baconator putting down a Doom Speaker in the front line. He has Judgment if he gets anything that will come in his way for an easy 2 damage removal this early on. Looking over at Belgian Grump, he does have Magma Slam.
Draws.
Yeah.
It's the PogChamp draw. The Magma Slam right when you need it.
Magma Slam basic will just be able to take this guy down. That was awesome.
Belgian needs more removal though. He's against a Zeus. This is how he lost earlier with the Ra. He didn't have enough removal when he needed it. And then when he did have enough removal, he coined out for heal.
Yeah, he had too much. He had way too much. Yeah, he just coined for heal.
Yeah.
Huh.
Hopefully he'll draw some more removal this game. This is the 5-minute curve though. Boom, right into the Hades, top decked like a pro. Both of these guys are so good at the game.
Well, what could he have been afraid of? Like, why was he afraid of something? Maybe Judgment? I don't know if Judgment can even target.
Oh, to coin out the heal?
Yeah. I feel like he was afraid of something. Like he was expecting.
I think he just wants to keep trading basics with Zeus, and he wants to keep his health total up.
I understand that.
That's my best guess.
There's a sustain. Yeah, just sustain. Either way, Zeus is down at 1-1. That was a good call, but Athena coming down as soon as possible at turn 6. Already in the back line here.
I said he had a high curve. He got to that curve.
He got to the curve. He's already there.
He docked. Yeah, he all he needed was a 5-mana play, and he top decked a 5-mana play.
Yeah,
so,
early game's over.
Yeah, it's just such a good draw for Baconator. He's curving out perfectly. He's got the 5 into the Athena on 6, and now he's got a Blade Master on 7, or he can Medusa Judgment. Or he can Medusa heal. You know, he's just got such great plays right now. It's insane.
Yeah, I think he's going to bring out the Blade Master next turn, and Belgian Grump doesn't have much of an answer here. He's going to bring out Sobek. Ugh. Sobek is not a great turn, or a great card to be played on turn 6 here. Going into 7 mana, we have already Athena moving up, going to easily take out this Sobek, which was just not played optimally. I want to see how he can follow up here. He's probably going to go ahead and take out the Ra, which is fine, and then just deal additional damage. Maybe try to even remove that, maybe remove the on her right there with the Blade Master. There it goes down. It's just easy choices from here on out as we snowball into the late game, into the end of the game here.
Belgium has Anubis.
And you know what card he could use here? Like every single game? Annihilation, yeah.
Or any executes ever.
Anything. You know, he used a lot of removal already. That early game, he was able to remove 2 marksmen and a Doom Speaker, and we're still complaining that he doesn't have any removal. It's just, it's horrible. Like, Control Ra barely controls anymore, and it's sad to see.
Control Ra needs not more control. Control Ra needs less units and more spells, in my opinion.
I think he needs more board presence. He just doesn't have it.
You don't get board presence as Ra though.
He really isn't getting it.
Like how do you contest board as a Ra against a Zeus? because Zeus just excels in taking away your board, making it better. You've got Nemesis, Medusa, and Thanatos that all do that.
Everyone is a
So
war cry.
Ra doesn't need more units. Ra needs more removal. And he's just not drawing it. And to be fair, he also doesn't have any last breaths in his deck either, which might be something worth adding.
That's funny that you say that too, because I think about, you know, give me a few weeks ago, I would never have said that. I would have never said, Ra needs more removal. You know what Ra needs? Yeah, no. Ew.
I mean, he's just not drawing it.
He's not drawing it. But he does need more removal. You're right. Especially in this new meta, in this new game, in this new game mode arena. Yeah, you might need more removal.
And this is a matchup that is not favorable for Ra, just for that reason. Because if Ra doesn't draw all of the removal and can't answer every single Zeus threat, Ra just loses. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Because Ra cannot contest board with minions. The minions that Ra can play are not as good as the minions Zeus can play. So he will lose that every single time in a board v board matchup. So he has to get value out of his removal, which he wasn't able to find this game.
So guys, there it is. There is the first game of grand finals here. Belgian Grump already seeing the anger, the furious anger that Baconator has to bring to him. And we will be getting into a game
card
two.
Players, we get pissed.
Yeah, we get angry. They're just sitting behind their computer, completely content. In fact, they're fuming. They're fuming. So guys, we'll be getting into the next game. We'll be getting into Grand Finals Game 2. Maybe we'll see Game 3. Maybe Belgian Grump can take this game, bring it back for Grand Finals.
It's best of 5, right?
It's a best of 3. Yeah, best of 3.
No,
Especially because it's best of 3 because they can switch it over. They can what they can do is if Belgian Grump wins the next 2 games, he wins the tournament. But if Baconator wins the next game, then they reset the bracket, and then it turns into a best of 5. So guys, knowing this knowledge now, we'll be going into the next game, and hashtag knowledge. So I'll see you guys in the next game.
I love knowing me some knowledge.
I love knowing. All right, guys, here we are, game 2. Will Baconator be able to take it, or will Belgian Grump take it back? First game going for the way of Baconator. If this moves towards Baconator, we'll be seeing a bracket reset. If not, Belgian Grump will win. He'll be able to take this game and hopefully the next game, and he'll be able to win. Otherwise, Baconator will take this and hopefully the rest of the games after and take the tournament for himself. Either way, we have on the right side Ra being played by Belgian Grump, and on the left side Baconator playing Odin. We've seen a lot of his Odin. We've seen a lot of his Zeus. He's been interchanging the two. We've seen Ra once. Will we see Ra again?
Yeah.
Probably not. But either way, let's get into this game. Illy, take us in. What can we see here? Already 2 frenzies.
This is so scary for Belgian. Your boy just queued Ra, and he just popped up into an Odin game. He's got the Magma Slam for the Scotty, but he has to find so much removal so fast because there's no way he can contest a board against an Odin player.
Ooh, we have
And
Hunter Sigil on the way too. Yeah.
he's got Soul, double Frenzy, Hunter Sigil, and a Fenway. This is scary.
Wait,
This is really scary.
where's the 3rd Hunter?
Right? It's up by the stone.
Oh, okay. Oh, he split them up like that. Okay. So
Yep.
one thing you got to notice here, we have 3 Hunters on the field. We also have a Calder. We're getting a lot of map presence here in the side of Baconator, and he has 2 Frenzies on board, and we're going into turn 5, so he can play 1.
Yeah.
Ew.
This is going to be a lot of damage.
Um,
And Belgian, and he does this. Baconator does this because he knows that Belgian does not have a chance at playing Annihilation. He has no AoE removal except for Annihilation and Anubis, neither of which are playable cards going into your 4-mana turn. So he's able
Oh,
to just
no.
play all of this damage. He's going to pop that Frenzy.
This is
Oh.
just disgusting.
It
So much damage going to
hurts.
come out here. There it goes. 1 on the Sobek. Sobek's down. He'll be able to trade a basic if he wants to with Rob, but that Archer in the backline won't have any answer. He just wants to keep that 1-1 alive. Right now a 3-1. Calder going to move up, deal 4 damage to the bottom right rock, it seems. And already Odin has a lead. What? Baconator,
This is
though,
so-
doesn't
this
have
is
any
so
follow-up
scary.
after this. He just he has 1 more Frenzy, and I'm saying that like it's nothing. Sure, he has another Frenzy, and Belgian Grump
Yeah.
has this, he has cards overflowing out of his hand. He's like, what do I do with these? He doesn't know what to do.
He doesn't have the answer, and he doesn't have Anubis is like the only out because you'd have to coin into the Anubis to somewhat stem the bleeding. But even then, he can't play the Annihilation. This is the win condition for Baconator. He wins before Ra gets access to these AoE spells, these incredibly many efficient spells. He can.
Oh,
he can
there it
win this
is.
Turn, right?
He just got
Frenzy
it.
Fate.
Yeah,
he just won.
got it. That fate really just sealed his destiny.
Well, that's the revenge of the bacon. Porky's coming back with a vengeance here, forcing this into
Oh my
the second
God.
set. I mean, what do you want me to call him? Wilbur? There's no spiders.
I picture Baconator behind his computer just screaming, just like war
No, he's
cries.
squealing. He's a pig.
He's Wilbur. No, my God.
He's Kurnanos old style, right?
Oh, Kernanos. Yeah, so he just completely taunted everything. He's coming out full force. Baconator, no chill. Still saying
He wants
we
to
take
win,
those.
man. He wants to win, and this Odin is performing. And the Zeus is performing. He's just winning every single. Has he lost a Zeus game?
No, I don't think he has actually.
I don't think he has either. I think his Zeus is 100%.
And then he follows up with an Odin for Rush, and then that's more of a chance to be 100% if you get the right cards at the beginning. And double Frenzy with a top decking of Hunter Sigil right after. That doesn't
insane.
sound like luck to me. That sounds like this guy's manipulating numbers in the background.
Baconator, I mean, you can't beat the perfect Odin draw. You just can't. And Belgian did the best he could, but
Yeah, it comes down to
Wow.
the Odin. It comes down to Odin. Belgian Gump really tried his best out there, and I don't think he made any misplays. Honestly, he did the best he could there with the hand he was drawn or dealt. You know.
yeah, absolutely.
Whatever, guys. We're going to be resetting the bracket. We're gonna get into game 1 of the reset bracket, where Baconator will again take on Belgian Grump. Guys, we're still in the grand finals, and we have just reset the bracket for the loser's side here for Baconator. So, guys, please stick around, stay tuned, don't move, do not get up, don't do anything. We'll be getting into more grand finals for Smite Tactics this week. For Baconator.
I see you.
I
see you
sit
getting
down, Mike. Come on.
Sit
get
down,
back here.
son.
Well, guys, here we are in the bracket reset. This is awesome. I did not think we would be seeing that. I thought Belgian Grump was going to take that game, but in fact, once you play up against Odin, you can't play back. And here we go, the 100% Zeus coming back at it, able to move up, and let's see what he's going to do here. Just kind of pass up his turn, and guys, here we have Baconator on the left. It doesn't matter. We have on the right side, we have Belgian Grump playing as Nuwa. What are we going to get out of this game? The last time we saw Nuwa was able to take that game in under 5 minutes, and it was insane and awesome. Will we see that again? We'll catch it. Oh, man, do I want to see that again. But either way...
No. And this Zeus player started off great. He started off with the Divine Judgment into the Doomspeaker, which is the pretty standard curve for him. And the Nuwa player doesn't necessarily have anything that's amazing in hand. Just going to auto that Doomspeaker. I'm not sure. She doesn't really have a play, does she?
Definitely not two Rushing Thunders, I'll tell you that.
Hebo. I think Hebo might be the correct play.
Hebo might be the best, but that sucks.
Hebo the Doomspeaker.
It's horrible that you have to play Hebo into a Doomspeaker.
Oh, duh.
Uguay. Uguay's right there.
Uguay. No, don't listen to us. We're dumb.
Yeah, we'll just restart this.
You could just let's see. You can execute the Uguay, push the 3 damage. Yeah. But you're trading a Doomspeaker to do so.
Yeah. And then you can get a basic attack. I think that's a really good play. You're trading 3 mana to 4 mana. 1 basic attack out of Zeus will be able to confirm that. He could also follow up with... yeah, there it goes. There goes an execute. He didn't want to give out that basic attack. Instead, he put out Thanatos to get a little bit more board control, a little bit more minions stuff on the board to be able to give him a little bit more edge on the side of Belgian Grump over here. Belgian Grump, I don't want to say he's suffering. He just doesn't have any answers for what's going on right now. He does have the Stone Guardian in the backline, which I think is a fantastic play, but Baconator can answer with Judgment basic attack if he wanted to. No, he can't move in range. He doesn't have an answer.
Teleport it.
He could teleport it. He could actually teleport it. I think that's a great play right there. Yeah.
I think he might have to because the
it kind of robs him of a lot of other plays.
In that case, he would just auto with Thanatos, right?
Mm-hmm.
But
yeah.
I think it might be your best option. He's gonna Nemesis.
Yeah.
So that says to me he might not be teleporting.
I think he's gonna
Nemesis Judgment. Yeah.
He's just really looking for the hard removal of this guy right now.
And next turn he's got Athena too, so he might not do anything.
Mm-hmm. I think that would also be a good
he
play.
might Judgment. He could Judgment Nuwa, and then look to remove with Athena.
There it goes.
Turn.
Yeah, there it goes down right there. 2 damage off to
no,
the
you can't
top
Judgment
right.
Nuwa, can you?
No, I think it was.
It's only units. You can only Judgment units.
So still having board control here. I like the trade over with Thanatos to bring again the leader down to 1 health, which we've seen in the past that if your leader is down to 1 health, that's extremely disadvantageous. You would much rather, sometimes you would much rather your hero to die in some cases, only because you want to have them back at full health ASAP. Instead, he's going to playing Ao Kuang right here above the stone in the bottom right, creating a nice choke point in between the Nemesis and the Zeus. But it really doesn't matter. 1 is melee, 1 is ranged, and Baconator can always follow up with an Athena right in between these two, which is going to pop down, kill the... Yeah, there it goes.
So he's going to choose to play the Athena a little bit lower and damage that bottom stone that's already hurt. Probably going to... Can he kill? No, he can't. He can't kill the Ao Kuang, which is kind of scary because he's now played the Athena on the same row as his Zeus. So this is going to be a Dragon King if he doesn't move that Zeus.
He can move down, or
he can, but will he?
Yeah, he's thinking about it. You know, it's Baconator. You can't. No, but I think he'll be able to move down, give 1 basic attack. This is only this is one of 2 positions you can go to that are optimal so that you can give 1 basic attack to Ao Kuang, and that's what he wanted to do there. Otherwise,
Rushing Thunder.
Rushing Thunder is a great pickup.
It will, yeah. He's gonna play it, clear off the Nemesis, and he's gonna be able to clear off the Athena as well, or be able to push face damage.
Yeah, he can push face damage. If you want Athena dead, he's gonna have to push Athena into Ao Kuang if he wants that. And that seems like what's gonna happen. There goes out Nuwa once again. Nice.
Yeah.
Hades
so obviously you clear off the Zeus there because then the Athena is less valuable than the Ao Kuang, so you want to trade the Athena into the Ao Kuang anyway.
I like that he's holding
so clear off the Zeus.
he has this Ares in hand, and I hope he saves it for a Sun Wukong that will be coming out soon. He does have Dragon King sitting in hand, which is a nice counter to Ares, but I think if Ares is played in the back line at some point, then that's a good counter to Sun Wukong.
It's like he's looking to spawn the Zeus here.
Oh, not
Honestly,
right now, yeah,
no, you can't stun the Ares and then kill it with Athena. Or the Alquang.
No, I'm talking about Sun Wukong. Well, he's saving.
No,
it for
yeah,
Sun
I
Wukong.
know, but
yeah.
I was trying to think of
Oh yeah. Okay.
another play.
We're just at the same.
He's gonna protect the Athena and then be able to trade it. It's gonna have 1 HP.
That's good.
Probably
Good
the
trade
best
though.
player.
That was a fantastic trade. Now that you were able to play into that Ao Kuang and survive is huge. And now you have to play around
But look
that.
what he's top decked.
Nice. And
He's
he has
top decked another
Ao
Ao
Kuang.
Kuang.
That's good. He'll just be able to
And,
move
yeah,
up and
the
play that
Athena-
face.
The Athena was in the same row as that Summoning Stone, so he's gonna play that Dragon King, get a free 3 damage. Or actually 6 damage on the Summoning Stone because he played the Athena.
Yeah, now you have that Summoning
the
Stone
Athena
down to
had
2
1
health.
HP.
Awesome.
Yeah.
He'll be able to
Medusa.
put Medusa in the middle. I don't know how I feel
That's
about
pretty
Medusa
scary.
being put up front. I know it is extremely scary, especially in that situation where you have Medusa sitting in the middle of the map, able to hit anywhere. If this Medusa
Yeah.
survives, which I don't see it surviving because right now we have Recall in the hand of Belgian Grump, it could do a lot. But I do think that he'll go with either Hebo, Recall. You also have Ao Kuang if he wants to play that up. But there's so many answers right here. I think Ao Kuang into Hebo is a great call here. And
Yeah,
there goes
that's
down
more
Ao
mana
Kuang.
efficient.
And more
I'm
stuff
expecting
on the
a-
board.
I don't think you can't leave the Medusa on the board.
No.
The reason why you can play Medusa up though is because she has 5 health. So she is pretty tanky for a ranged character. There's gonna be the hot ball coming out. Sit her back to the hand.
Back from whence she came. Abba doing a great job there, already sitting nicely at 3-1. Going to be able to offer a lot of range damage if he so chooses, especially if he wants to go up against that Zeus to remove him back to Baconator's hand. Baconator, though, has a very nice looking hand, being able to play down that marksman and then follow up with either a Hades in face or a Medusa in the back. He could also play an Ares, but I would like the Ares to be saved, but Ares can also go on Ao Kuang.
Yeah, the Ares on Alquang I think is worth it, but maybe not this turn.
Yeah,
He
there
wants
goes
to
down
develop
the
the Medusa again. He's probably going to use Hero Power protects the Medusa. Or the 2/2.
Either way, Recall will be coming in, and that Medusa will not be on this board, I don't think, after this next turn. Again, you have a 2-mana card that can just return Medusa back to your opponent's hand. That's fine.
Yeah.
Fenway will
And
be able
he'll,
to come
if
out.
he
I
plays
think.
it again, he'll spend 15 mana to develop a Medusa, which is
It's
pretty nuts when you're thinking about it.
Yeah, it's really bad for him. So there he goes once again. You have Belgian Grump on the right side, looking for some play here that he can do. I like the Fenway coming out. I love that move. And then he'll be able to follow up with a Recall. He's going to go ahead and power up the Fenway. There goes down the Recall. Back to Baconator's hand with the Medusa for the second time this game. That Medusa's had some hard CC. No removal, but a lot of CC.
Yeah, I mean, it's tricky. Whenever you're recalling a clunky minion like Medusa, that's like the only good recall target in this deck, too. So certainly want to use the Habwa and the recall on it.
That's so
But
powerful.
the Alquang gonna
Already
get
dead.
nimmed.
Mhm.
See,
Yeah.
can we Ares remove it? We can Ares remove. Oh, you can just also Archer.
Yeah, he could archer
One,
it.
two, three, four.
Yeah,
Yep.
he could either go for Nuwa or the Ao Kuang. He's definitely thinking about
Oh,
going for the
okay.
Ao Kuang over Nuwa. Definitely.
Yeah.
You do not want him
Absolutely.
getting into your back line, and you don't want to trade that Nemesis off if it has 5 health.
Oh, he can Ares the 5/3. I think
The
that's
Ao
what he's
Kuang.
thinking about.
Yeah. Or the Fenway.
The Fenway,
Yeah.
because the Fenway's harder to remove. So it's just, does he think there's spell damage?
There it is. There, Fenway goes down. Great call there. Fenway being trapped in the top right now, so every time it attacks something, it's going to be receiving return damage from anything around. I like this play. The Archer going to be able to easily move down and deal 3 damage to really whatever
No,
it
it's
wants.
going to
in this
remove the Fenway. No, you want to remove the Fenway there. Because you can remove it for free.
Oh yeah, he just removed. Okay, so he went and attacked the Fenway.
And then-
up close. Okay.
Yeah, he's hovering teleport. He could teleport the Alquang
He
where
just-
the Fenway was,
Yep.
but he's going to teleport it away, which is fine.
But now he's just at risk for ranged attack, and that's like He was before, and now he's just at more so. I don't know. I don't know how
He
I
was
feel about
before,
the
and there was no range coming out, right? There's no
Yeah.
there's no second Rushing Thunder, and I don't think he has a second Dragon King. So the fact that there was nothing played means he probably doesn't have anything. He's gonna bank on that 1 out of 13 and make a play that's weak to that but stronger to the board.
Yeah, so he had no range available. There goes down that Sun Wukong that I wanted Ares to be able to face off with. Sun Wukong just being top decked by Belgian Grump. He's not. I wonder what form he chose. We won't be able to see. I can't tell. What
Probably
I see now.
speed form, because he
Yeah.
didn't. Oh no, he did the 2 damage to the Ares.
Oh, did it? Okay, I just saw
Yep.
that then. So, really, what can he do here? He can probably give 1 basic attack to the Ao Kuang if he moves close enough, but because Ao Kuang is moving down, he's going to be out of range. Thus, I would have said Scylla would have been a great follow-up, but none of that's going to happen. Medusa...
No, he can get in range for Scylla, right?
I don't think... He can get in range with Scylla, but not with
not with
Zeus. Kenny.
Zeus.
Yeah.
Right.
So, Medusa might be coming out for the 3rd time this game, or we can see a
I like
Hades. I like Hades too. If he can move up Hades, that'll send Nu Wa back a little bit, or he can potentially control the Sun Wukong.
Sun Wukong. Yeah, I think
Yeah.
he'll control the Sun. Or he can.
Because then the rain.
He can also.
Yeah.
He can also kill the Sun Wukong with Ares.
Because then the archer will be in range as well, and then he'll also have 3 attack power, and that Sun Wukong is dead. But he's gonna go ahead and just easily trade
No,
with
he's
it.
gonna develop Scylla. He's gonna develop Scylla. What are we
Yeah,
talking
okay,
about?
there it is. 4-2.
Yeah,
Scylla
yeah.
going to be able to easily just take him down. Wait. Is it okay?
play-
Okay, just moved it back. Okay.
Okay.
I thought he was gonna go face with it. Sure. There goes down Medusa. Fine.
Doesn't like that Scylla anyway.
Medusa's gonna be staying out
15 mana
now.
Medusa.
Yeah.
The legend.
The legend. Not being able to do anything. Manifold Blade might even find its way towards that Medusa, but it won't really develop much damage because Manifold Blade requires some backline to be able to deal a little bit more damage here.
So you could play the Fenway and remove the Scylla with the Manifold. Right, because Fenway's a beast.
Mm-hmm.
So, but then what do you do with anything else? Oh, and then spell
wait.
damage from the Ao Kuang. Duh.
He has wait.
So
3, 6, 7, 8. He had wait. Yeah, he has. He's 1 damage away from finishing this game. Those 2 backline archers can finish off the top stone, and the rest can bring that bottom stone down to 1 health. He has no way to push out that last damage though, because you do have 4, 5, 6 for that last bottom stone. He could just be greedy and push out damage, and I don't think that's bad here, just because it's only 1
No,
damage.
absolutely
hashtag 1 more lane. But there goes Athena. Athena just wins the game. There it is.
GG.
Yeah, that was awesome. Fantastic game 1. I think Baconator can really pull this through. He's been coming out with the perfect moves here, and there it goes. He just ends the game now.
That's a close game though.
Yeah,
It's
fantastic
well
plays.
played by both players there. Definitely see the high level that we're at, where you're seeing people walking around to avoid the avoid the Dragon King damage to make sure they're not in the same
The
row
entire game too. You're
the
right.
entire game.
So, guys, this has been the grand finals. This is what we have reset the bracket already. We're in game 1. We just finished game 1 where Baconator took the 3rd game after losing a 2-1 to Belgian Grump. He's now in the grand finals. The grand finals against Belgian Grump once again, angry, furious, raging behind his keyboard, squealing maybe, but same thing.
Squealing like a pig.
No.
Wilbur.
But he's angry.
Since we're calling Baconator Porky, can we call Belgian Waffles?
We can call them waffles. But we have to remove one
So
letter
Waffles
because
versus Porky.
Waffles versus Porky game. Last game we're gonna get into, guys. No, but this has been awesome so far. We reset the bracket. We're going into game 2 of Baconator versus Belgian Grump. If Belgian Grump can take this next game, we will see game 3. If Belgian Grump can take that game, he will win the entire tournament. But if Baconator wins this next game, he takes it all. We have followed Baconator all the way to the end of this tournament. Will he come out alive? Will he come out the victor? We will find out next game if we'll see a game 3 or if Baconator is just going to win it all. Guys, stay tuned. Literally, like I said it before, don't move. Stick around. We're getting into the last game. potentially, and we could even see a third game. Oh, I cannot wait, guys. Stick around. Don't move. We're in the grand finals. No reason.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to Game 2. It's the grand finals, the second set. Baconator has forced the second set of this grand final, and he is looking to take this one home. Baconator is going to be piloting the Odin out of the right side of your screen, and Belgian Grump is going to be on the Nuwa to the left. My name is Illy. With me is Nuka DeLuca. We are going to bring you this game. Hunter Sigil, turn 1 for Baconator. He's going to be so happy about this.
There goes down the Hunter Sigil right there. He's just going to spread him out along the bottom to get a little bit of presence around. But wait, look at Belgian Grump, Sam. Look, he's already hovering over. He's just going to tap. Yeah, click it. There it goes. Hovering. Yep.
There goes down before every Odin player's eyes.
Oh, he's just
The
demoralized
Rushing
right
Thunder
there.
Dream.
Baconator,
It's beautiful.
he lost his early game. He can answer with maybe a Surtur in the front line if he wants to stay back, play Valhalla Sorcery, but who stays back as Odin? He's going to go ahead and move up, deal a little bit of damage to this as soon as he plays a Surtur down there. And what's Belgian Grump going to do to answer this? Well, he does.
He's got an
man.
Uguay, right?
He has
My,
Uguay.
that was a voice crack.
Yeah.
Uguay is great.
Yeah, he has an Uguay.
Uguay is great to remove this 1/4. And but you also have to think about the Rushing Thunder was played on a 3-mana turn, right?
Mhm.
So that is a 3-mana deal 1 to everything. So it's 3-mana
So
spell
worth,
to deal
yeah.
with a 2-mana spell, which, and obviously it isn't. It
spread
doesn't
out,
cost
too.
3 mana, but you didn't do anything else, so essentially it did. And he had a Chaos Spawn that he could have played, and that Chaos Spawn is going to be pretty good against the Surtur because it is a silence.
I want to see that come out. Well, you can play it against the Surtur. I hope maybe he'll be able to save it because Baconator has a Surtur of his own. He has another Surtur sitting on standby. Maybe he'll be able to drag that one out as well. And this will just be him controlling Baconator. So Uguay going face against Odin. 2 damage. He wasn't able to really... I don't know if I like that play. I wish he kind of took out the Surtur before he went face to Odin.
Well, he's going to use that Chaos Spawn. And he's going to use that Chaos Spawn to say, now it's just a 1/3, and I want to remove this Odin off the board because that Odin ability is very, very relevant to pushing damage. And he's totally... He can't play around a second Surtur because if you're mulliganing 4 Surtur, the chances that you find both in your opening hand is about 7%. So there's not a real... There's not a huge percentage chance that Baconator has the second Surtur sitting around. So this is a good play for the odds.
Yeah,
Belgian
definitely. So he's not expecting the extra Surtur. We do have Scotty also in the hand of Baconator that he can always put out in the back line. He's a great place for this. He's in a place to put down Scotty. if he wants to get that backline support. Maybe even play it down on the bottom right rock, but another Hunter Sigil also sitting in, but he doesn't have anything to support it with. I know Hunter Sigil is great in and of itself on its own, but to be able to support it with Frenzy, oh, that's fantastic. But
yeah, this is going to be a great 6-mana Sun Wukong turn. Going to knock out the Odin and be able to clear the 1/3. Be able to move this 2/3 up to contest the stone. That top stone has taken a lot of damage, though. So this could be a dangerous situation for Belgium.
Yeah, all Fenway has to do is move up, attack the stone if he wants to, but I think he's going to want to go for removal over this. Fenway is in a perfect spot, especially with those mid rocks where they are, in a perfect choke point to prevent anyone from coming onto his side. He just has to play Fenway down, play anything out of range of the Sun Wukong, and he'll be fine. Everything is going to be out of range of Sun Wukong, and I think it's going to be an easy way to just kind of manipulate where this SWK is going to be going. I kind of like this, and I don't like where SWK is sitting right now. Just so vulnerable. Sucks.
Well, the turn before, though, it cleared off the Odin, and it also removed the silenced Surtur. So it was a value play. There is going to be the second Hunter Sigil now. Belgian has to play around Frenzy.
Yeah.
He absolutely has to play around Frenzy or Coerce. And we've seen both in Belgian's deck. So this is scary. I think you just Dragon King. Do you Dragon King the 2? Or
you would have. Yes. Honestly, I would Dragon King the Fenway and just go forth from there. But instead, he's just
can't Dragon King the Fenway.
Can't Dragon King. Oh, because he's magical immune. I thought he was ranged immune. Yes. Okay. So yeah, you couldn't do that. You can't follow up with that. You do have on the top still Scotty just gonna be hanging out with that buffed up Calder.
He's probably gonna hobble the Fenway.
We're gonna see Surtur come out and deal a lot of damage. There goes the Hobwa, but he's not. Instead of going for the Fenway, he's gonna go ahead and go for the Scotty instead.
It is gonna do a lot of damage here.
Yeah.
But he's also removing quite a bit, and he's gonna place down this Chang'e and try to stabilize. So this game is on a knife's edge. Oh
no! He just top decked a Frenzy.
Oh no! Okay, so the Fenway and the 1/1 Archer can both do an additional 3 damage.
Surtur coming out too.
Yeah, absolutely.
So Surtur will be able to.
Is he gonna play Frenzy? I don't think he's gonna play Frenzy.
Yeah, he would have done it by now. He just determined that he wasn't gonna do it. In fact, he can't even remove the Sun Wukong. No wait, yeah. So Sun Wukong just goes down with 5 damage. Okay.
He doesn't need the Frenzy.
Yeah, he does.
He's saving the Frenzy to push damage to stones.
He has enough math presence. He's actually defending his Odin right now, and I want to see if Baconator's Odin will have a late game, because right now he's able to hold on, and Nuwa is knocking at Odin's front door right now. Odin isn't even on the map, so he's not going to answer the door, but you still have Nuwa sitting in the bottom, just putting so much pressure on. You have a Chang'e
Easy Imperial Archer and a Dragon King here, though. Gonna clear up the 4/3, do a lot of damage to the stone, and kill off the 2/1 at the same time. And then, oh, what?
Fenway follow-up. Yes,
no,
that random arrow.
The Imperial Archer
yeah.
thwacked that RNG right into that Fenway, let him clear. That is a huge swing for Belgian.
That was awesome. Great RNG for Belgian Grump. He's looking good right now. Still in a great place. He can get killed right here, though. Like that Nuwa is not looking healthy right now, sitting at 1-2.
He's less worried about the Nuwa. Yeah. He's less worried about the Nuwa, and because he knows that Bacon's plan is just kill the stones, kill the stones, kill the stones. So if his Nuwa dies. He's gonna be the biggest problem with that would be he has to spawn stuff around his stones. He's gonna pop the Frenzy though.
Yeah.
Gonna push damage into the I would actually kill the Chang'e, I think.
Yeah, there's
to keep Transfusion from doing
Transfusion is at risk. I think what he was thinking, he was going to put down Odin and give the God ability to Scotty, but instead he opted for the mass removal instead. He gets the point. He gets basically the luxury of choosing who he wants to thwack. And there he goes. He goes ahead and chops down the Chang'e down to 2 health. So it is now irrelevant if he ended up top decking a Transfusion, which he did not.
Transfusion is probably a keep too for Belgians. So
yeah, he just traded.
He has to. He has
Yeah.
to kill that Scotty because that Scotty represents way too much damage
Mhm.
with an Odin ability on top of possibly another Frenzy or a Coerce. So
Yeah, and there's the luxury of it too, is because you can trade out your god this early on, you can just pull it out right away, instantly. So there's no wait time, you can trade it and just bring it out again, and that's what I like seeing here. Fenway moving up, going to be able to take out that top stone.
It was a good spawn location, out of
Yeah.
range of everything that Belgian could do, and guaranteed kill that stone next turn. So there's only 10 health that Bacon has to push into that bottom stone to win the game.
Odin seems to be the
He's got a
Guan Yu killer.
Loki.
This is disgusting, only because those Fenway
All
are
he has-
immune to magic. There goes Odin
All
again.
he has to do is deal 4
That's
damage
Loki.
to that stone because he has Loki.
Oh no. There it is. 7 damage, so then Surtur is now moved up. This is not looking good. And Fenway can just kind of creep into the backline. There's no way to take out that Fenway as of right now. There's a
I think
Hebo,
more
there's a
importantly, he
recall.
Can't kill the Loki.
Yeah, Loki, there's no way to deal with that. But how is he going to
And he's
follow up for the rest of
untargetable.
the damage here? Untargetable.
So he's pretty much got to so hobbling the Fenway is useless at this point. It's out of range anyway.
Mhm.
He can't hobble the Loki. He's gonna outquang trade and kill the Surtur, which makes perfect sense. I think you he's gonna Chang'e.
Bring out Chang'e. Yeah.
I don't think there's a reason to use the recall.
Baconator's looking really good right now. He does have that Loki, but he needs to be able to follow it up. There goes Fenway back to his hand.
Yeah.
That Hebo coming out, I think, was a good call to answer any kind of follow-up with the Loki. The Loki is inevitable that it's going to either go for removal or attack the stone. I don't think he's going to be looking for the greed. He's going to be looking for the removal, I think. And if he wants to trade a Loki into an Ao Kuang, go right ahead. You're not going to get any return damage.
Yeah.
So that's awesome for you. To remove the Hebo is kind of a big deal because Hebo is a great counter to Loki at this point in the game.
So you could Web of Word and try to find a soul.
Our enemies, or we return to Valhalla. A glorious day, regardless.
Like I feel like that's the play, right?
I feel like that would be a really good play. I think you're right with that one. There goes now Fenway again, though. Instead, he could also bring out a Calder in the front line as well. Hebo is going to go ahead and trade with Loki. Changas are just going to sit around dance. And you have this 1/6 sitting around not going to be able to answer anything that is going to come on the
And that Stone Guardian draw is not the greatest.
No. Stone
He
Guardian.
needs
won't be
something a
able to-
little beefier.
Stone Guardian can probably block off the Caldir from doing additional damage to anything on... I don't know. I think it comes down to protecting your stones. Because right now
he's got to
you
body
have
block his own stone.
4, 6, 7, 8, 9. You have 9 potential damage this turn on that stone, and he just has to be able to find a way through it. See, he's not at lethal, which is awesome, but if he draws Coerce, it's game over. We just have to wait for it.
Well, he can guarantee get the Scotty into range.
And the Fenway.
No, Fenway can't get in range. 1, 2, 3. Oh, never mind. You're right. Yeah, so the Fenway and the Scotty can both get into range.
Now the Calder
Which,
can't
like,
move in
yeah.
range.
It's guaranteed. Yeah, I see what
But
you're
if
saying. He's going to
Coerce comes-
recall the Scotty for that reason.
There it is. Okay. Great recall there. Scotty being returned back to his hand. Hunter Sigil coming out, but nothing really to follow that up.
Web
but
of
Hunter
Word.
Sigil just creates so much... Yeah, Web of Word just come out with the Scott. Or no,
What
that's
did he
Thor.
get?
Yeah, what did he...
He got soul!
He got
He
Soul?
got soul with the Web of Word!
No.
Oh no!
Can
He's
he just...
gonna Odin
He's gonna
ability
push
him.
damage?
Slap the
Oh
stone.
my god, that
Remove
backline was...
two- Oh,
That's disgusting.
that just feels disgusting.
A 4-3 Web of Win. Oh. Pushing out so much damage that Fenway going to push out 4 more damage to that Chang'e, going to completely destroy it. And now this game is just completely open for Baconator to win. Putting out Hunter Sigil in the backline just to be able to push out extra damage if he so chooses.
He got the Rushing Thunder, but he doesn't have an Ao Kuang to do anything with. Oh no!
Pushing Thunder, but 1 damage, 4-4. That's game over. That's the grand finals.
It's the
Baconator.
waffle-based dreams, dude.
Waffle takes it over. No. That was awesome, though. Like, look at there goes the final hit from both. Fenway dealing the last bit of damage here. He's even showing him his hand, saying good game to his opponent, but here it is. The last hit of the game. Good game to both these guys. Bring it all the way to the grand finals.
Champion. The
Once-
Baconator.
Flashpoint Baconator taking it for his team there,
Bacon
man.
for the win.
Congratulations to him. He took it back after a 2-1 loss to Belgian Grump in the winners final, taking it back in very, very convincingly as a 4-0 in the grand finals.
Basically just well played on both sides, and Baconator obviously making the web of word to win the game, grabbing the soul, Odin buffing it, and just clearing everything
in that back
that,
line.
that Waffles
was
could
so
throw
good.
down there.
Fantastic gameplay from these guys, and honestly, I think this tournament overall has been fantastic. Guys, thank you all for joining us. Illy, if these guys want to find you, where can they find you? If they want more of your content, more of your awesome voice, where can they say, hey, Illy, I want your voice?
You can come to my house, or you can come to my YouTube channel, which I don't know the address to. So, I'm on there somewhere. Illy Smite Tactics is probably the best bet there. Or I'm also on Twitter, and I don't usually say anything at all.
Well, guys, if you wanted to look for some Nuka DeLuca, I'm always on Twitch every single day of the week. Just come on by to twitch.tv/Nuka DeLuca. I stream a little bit of Tactics, I stream a little bit of Smite, I stream a little bit of Smash Brothers. I'm all around. If you guys are looking for competitive gaming, come on by. You guys can also find me on Twitter. I'm going to be starting on YouTube pretty soon, as soon as I get the Smite Gauntlet going. Guys, this has been just fantastic day. Illy, any final words for today and how it just all went?
I have no words for that web of words soul. Okay. Hi-Rez, please nerf that card. But we will see you next week with the next tournament in Smite Tactics. Can't wait to see you there. It's been fun. Have a great evening.
Have a great evening. Thank you.